All right, I think it looks like we're live. Do I sound all right? I think people can hear me. It looks like the mic is on. Very good, very good. Okay. Where's this at? I don't know. Am I pretty lined up with the? There we go. I'd say cam looks pretty good. I think I'm in a comfortable spot. All right. Well, hopefully everybody's doing all right. I guess I'm a little early. I said 11, but I did mention that yesterday. I'll not. My goal is to never be late. I've never been late so far, but I could be early. Tossed you my like. Can't watch a lot this morning. Everyone, thanks, Tiger. Hopefully you get your situation taken care of too. So how's everybody's day going? Things are returning. I mean, they're still pretty volatile, but they are returning back to normal a little bit. Jim, are you back from your wood deliveries? As always, if you've been here before and you know you're going to enjoy, make sure you hit that like button. If you're brand new and you've never been here before, first off, welcome. No need to hit that like button because I totally understand you don't know if you're going to like this or not. But if you have been here before, hit that like button. We're going, we hit 160 likes yesterday. We'll go for at least 120 today as another goal, and we'll see what happens. How's everybody's days going so far, though? Mine so far so good. I gave back a little bit, but that's all right. Still green. And there's the trendline break here. I'll go over my trade that got me earlier, but we'll wait until more people get here before I do that, or else I'm going to be answering the same thing. Dang, Jim, up over 460? Let's go. All right, Jim, so how much are you going to be happy with? Like walking away, how much would you be happy with? Like 300? If I were to say, Jim, you're going to have a $300 green day, how does that make you feel? Does that put you on tilt? Does that make you angry? Good. That's good. Okay, so if I were to tell you 300 would make you feel awesome. Okay, so then my question would be, how much risk can you take on the next trade? If we've established that if you were to walk away with $300, you would still feel awesome, and you're up 460, how much risk can you put on your next trades? On your next trade, what is the max risk you could have? Very good, sir. There you go. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. So now you will be able to sit in that trade, total peace, total comfort, because you're like, you know what, even if I'm wrong here, and that assumes you're putting on max risk. But that is, so I mean, really, if you want to get two more trades, so let's say this, Jim, let's say you want to get at least two more trades in on the day. What's your risk per trade? If you want to get two more in. If you want to get two more trades in on the day, how much is your risk got to be per trade? There you go. Does that flow of math I think it makes sense because you're answering all the questions right, but that's exactly it. So that is how you could, and not could, but you will be able to sit there and just let the thing play out. And that's what I did earlier with the losing trade that I had. It was just like, okay, I'll take another one, but even if I'm red, it'll still be fine. And it did turn out to be red, and guess what? I'm still fine because I went through that entire thought experiment. So... But now the one slight concern is you get a little too kind of free. You're like, well, I got 160 to burn, so let's just go like to the casino, and you start to act like a degen. Don't do that either. There is, ditches on both sides, but just keep trading how you've been trading because you're in a groove right now if you're up 460. So you are in a groove. But if you see something that seems to be within the groove that you've been in, then yeah, your risk is 160. I was up 1,500 on my test, almost lost it. Uh-oh. Accidentally oh, yes, Frank. Well, I know you I know that you know that I've been there before because I've done that, I don't know, 3 or 4 times now on the stream. Accidentally traded NQ, not MNQ. Panicked and got out, but in that moment, for just 2 contracts, I lost 1,400. Yeah, it's wild how that one can. It's wild how fast that one can move. Right now, what I'm interested and just watching right now, but the pullback here to the overnight high, is this going to be an area of support where you get some sort of bounce? Previously, it was, and the reason why I'm kind of iffy is it wasn't very clean. I mean, here was a clean rejection. There's a clean rejection. There was some not clean rejections. Another I mean, that was brutal. Broke up through, acted like wanted to be strong, and then dropped all the way down there, and then came all the way back up. I mean, that right there frustrated some people, no doubt about it. Acted like it wanted to break out, and then acted like it wanted to collapse, and then boof, that's where the real move came. So that stuff right there is very. So if that got you on the day, I get it. It may or may not have gotten me. I'll talk more about that later, but nonetheless, though, it is the overnight high, so you got to think a lot of people are watching it. So I don't think. I personally would not be shocked if the price came down to that area and did get some sort of bounce. So I am watching it, and we'll see. Maybe I'll take a little scalp off it, see if I can get just a quick little scalp. If it wants to come down there. We got a lot of wiggle room on this account today, so see if I can get a bit of a scalp. Checking the time. I don't think there's any big news today. Okay, a pro. Oh, you dirty rat. No, missed me by, I don't know, yeah. All right, missed me about 3 or 4 points. And then there's the bounce. So never mind, fine, I'll take that. So there it is. Basically the bounce off the overnight high, but that's why trading's hard. Because I was right. Generally speaking, I was right. It'd want to give you a bit of a bounce from that area. But notice I didn't make any money from it, because part of trading is not just being right from the general sense. You got to be right in terms of, well, where exactly is it going to bounce? Because if you're not in, or you think it's going to bounce lower and you miss the entry point, which is what I did, then yeah, I was right. Oh, it's going to come down there and you could get a bounce. And yeah, I would have been able to scalp out for a bounce trade there, but no money, because being right from a general sense is just not good enough. And that's what fools a lot of people, because I sit there and be like, oh, I think this is going to pull back and bounce. And it pulls back and bounces, but like, oh, see, I would have made money. And not necessarily. All right, it is coming back down to that area. All right, there we go. Now it really did hit that level. Suppose I should have left my order out there. Caught the bounce, made $90. And what was your risk on that trade? What was your risk? Again, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. We're just getting warmed up here. Technically, it's not even 11, which is what the video said. Risk was 60. Good job. Risk in 60, made 90. I like it. Very well done. And now you're up over 500 on the day. Fantastic. Remember, you only got about $250 more you can go, Jim. So keep that in mind. Maybe I do this instead. Yeah, let's I'll just go with one, because I don't love this trade plan, but I'll do it. Buy there, stop down here, unless it gives me a new risk profile. So if it drops down lower, then this trade I'm not interested in anymore, because the risk profile is going to be changing on. Oh, all right, never mind. Risk profile changed. Had it kept these lows and then bounced back up, I could have seen myself buying right there, but it just dropped down a little bit too far, so not really interested in that right now. Again, I'll ask, how did everybody's day go? How is everybody's day going? Always enjoyable to hear how the days are going for people. There are definitely some tricky moments today, that's for sure. But in some senses, it was kind of just, buy dips. But right now, this is dipping down. Even, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to look, where's the next, maybe down here. Is this the next potential bounce area? What is that? 090. Yeah, right now kind of in a no man's land. And really nothing, at least as far as I see, that I would consider significant until that line right there. That blue line right there. Again, not saying it drops straight down to there, but when you just look back through the history of things, there just really isn't anything over here that seems to suggest supports. So yeah, is this the next target for people that were maybe going short? But again, people that shorted right there, I mean, it's working out for them, good, but I would have never taken that short. That would have been too scary for me. Elmore, good. Glad to hear that. Nobody else, I guess, wants to tell me about their day. ME lost 270, then got it back plus 10. Good job, ME. First off, well done taking the loss and just realizing, you know what, I can take 270 loss because that keeps it within reason of being able to get it back. And there you go. You got it back. So well done. Well done. Now the question becomes from the short side, could you play a back test? The back test and go, where it comes up here, back test the overnight high, which now is, not guaranteed to be a resistance, but realistically could be a resistance, and then comes back down. So is this a scenario that people could possibly be looking at? Hey, good morning, Nero. So that's, and I could possibly be interested in something like that. Need to check the 5 minute though. Yeah, 5 minutes. I mean, 5 minutes. You gotta think there's gonna be some bounce along the way. I mean, we're now going on our 4th red candle in a row. Granted, this thing can grind in both directions here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles in a row. Yeah, I think that line down there could be an interesting long as it continues to drop. All right, we'll watch this here more so on the 2 minute time frame. Frank, appreciate your inner circle. Some good folks in there sharing. Yeah, thank you, Frank, for giving it a try. I appreciate that. And yeah, as expected, I figured you'd enjoy. Got some people that they're not going to necessarily spoon feed you every little bit, but they'll throw you enough for you if you have the right attitude, which you do have the right attitude, Frank, which is why I was like, yeah, you would definitely fit in well, Frank, then yeah. So I can't say that I'm shocked that you're finding value because, like I said, I could tell from interacting with you here that you do have the right attitude with it. Hoover Flag Trader, good morning. It's a roller coaster day. Yeah, it's been a bit kind of up and down, but right now, all right, maybe a back test here. What would that be? 65 up to 75. Yeah, that'd be 20 bucks. I could make way more than 20 bucks on it if it wants to come back down. So let's see. Sell. I am on MNQ, right? And then up here. All right, a little more than 20 bucks, but buy. All right. So I'll look to play a back test and go here. So if it comes up there, I'll get short at the red line. For you beginner short means I want price to go down, and ideally it rolls back over. If it doesn't, then it's about $40-ish of risk. And I'm up. I can risk $40 now where I'm at right now. But I could certainly make quite a bit more than $40 if it does back test and then more importantly goes in my favor. But step one is it's got to get up to that area. Ideally, I'm going to get my answer relatively quick, meaning if it comes up here and breaks, and fills me, it's either going to kind of stop me out relatively quickly or it's going to start to head back in my favor. But not one of these. I mean, it's still possible, but ideally it doesn't just go sideways for the next 30 minutes. So if it's going to stop me out, I'd prefer it just stop me out relatively quickly. So getting close to that. I'm going to go a little bit closer to the actual level right there. There we go. Now I got my risk box even smoother. So tight risk. We'll see if it wants to, okay. Getting close. Okay, in. Okay, now is it going to go in my favor or is it going to pop back up and stop me out? We will see. Like I said, this is not a scalp. I want to see this thing work in my favor. I'm going to go down to now this will be a winning trade no matter what. Gonna move my stop down some more. Very good. Nice. All right. That one worked out nicely. Well, I mean, it was a green trade. It would have worked out a lot nicer had the thing just kept on bleeding to the downside. And it may still come down, don't get me wrong, but, well, there we go. I would have been stopped out. So that played that one in hindsight. Hindsight's making me look smart on that one. So play that one about as best as I could. Again, it still could come down. I could see if you're comfortable with the risk, you know, getting short right around here, stop over the high right there. I'm not going to take that one because I'm not sure I want to risk, you know, that many points on it. But I don't know where you're at in your day, what you trade. So everybody's different. And this is, again, ain't no advice. This is entertainment. I'm just thinking out loud, trying to be somewhat entertaining. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, pretty straightforward trade there. Just the back test and go, and it kind of went. Let me put it this way: it went enough for me to at least get my stop loss into slight green territory, which is always the ideal spot to be in. But did it, you know, go in a magnificent, glorious way where it just bled and bled and bled? It did not. You take that trade with us, Jim? Where you at, Jim? Again, if you've been here before and you know that you enjoy, reminder to hit that like button. If you are brand new, no need to hit the like button. I understand you have no idea if you're going to like or not. But if you do like this, and you know, we're going for 120 likes today minimum. Oh boy, this could be another. Yeah. All right, so I want to see this thing come up here, hit these highs, and then come back. So it's at 65. Where's that at? 85. 70 to 80. Yeah, that's fine. So first step needs to come up here, maybe a little bit higher, and then come back down, and I'll look to get short, ideally catching it on the way back down, assuming it comes back down. But I want to see the price build up the bulls' hopes, get the longs excited as it comes up here, and maybe gives a false breakout and then comes back down. So then I can take advantage of the disheartened longs that were playing the breakout, thinking they were going to get a breakout, and then there is no breakout. So then they panic, they get upset, they start punching their computer, and they're like, sell, good. From the short side, that's where you want to be getting in at. When the longs are having the negative attitudes, that's where the shorts are smiling. And that's all the market is. It's figuring out where is one group of people, XYZ set of emotions, and how can I take advantage of XYZ set of emotions? That's essentially what it is. 20 bucks on a scalp. Good job by me. So like right now, you know there's shorts in here that are feeling good. But if this thing comes down here, breaks up, and then comes back up through here, you're going to have some discouraged shorts. And from a long side, that's what you want. You want to find those areas on a chart where you think that the longs are getting irritated, sad, frustrated, discouraged. And that's where you can put together some quality trade plans. But right now, it's looking like the overall looking like the back test and go may still work. I was very, very aggressive, but I do realize there's strategies where it's like, man, Clay, you got very aggressive. Give the thing a little bit of time, and yeah, I hear you. I'm in green. You still don't know, but to be fair to you, you may be well more in green, and then you'll be able to say, see, Clay, you should have waited. But right now, still unknown. And for those of you that waited, now you're saying, see, Clay, you should have just chilled out a little bit. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's how it works. But had the price continue to skyrocket, I wouldn't say it, but I'd probably be like, yeah, maybe you should have been a little bit more aggressive. But at the end of the day, you got to follow through and manage a trade with however you should be managing it. But there we go. The classic back test and go. Came down, came up. I took it short right there. In hindsight, got too aggressive with my stop, but for the people that chilled out a little bit more, they are getting paid in a very, very nice way. So the back test and go strikes again. Now the question is, does it break through these lows? Again, no guarantees, but if it breaks through these lows, I don't see how it doesn't at least test right there. Again, no guarantees. So there is the break. I think it heard me. It's like, oh, really? You don't see? Well, we're about to show you. But I still think it'll go down and hit that line. but might have just double bottomed. But yes, either way, big congrats, especially for those that were a little bit more not so aggressive with the stop loss, but it is what it is. Whoops. Got an email from my accountant, and I was a little like, pretty sure I signed those forms, but I guess I did not. I will do that after the stream is over. Come on now, don't make them look stupid, market. I said you. It seems like it's gonna hit that line minimum. There we go. There we go. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Had me worried for a second. I'm like, oh boy, bouncing up. Don't make it look stupid, but there we go. Now, next area that I'm very curious about right down here. Oh, yeah. I got to get a buy-in right there, in fact. This could be oh, no. MNQ. I'm just double checking. Yeah, we got, check it out. So that low is not only a key low for here, but it's also that 50 period moving average, that purple line. So we got some stars aligning here. I'm willing to get more than 3, but 3 will at least get me started on it. Come on now. It's hitting the 9-day SMA and falling. Gotcha. Yep. I'm not a user of the 9 SMA, but thanks for the heads up on that. Oh, so close. Yet so far away. Well, we'll see if it wants to come back down. It's going to have to fight through this lower shadow now here. We are looking at the 2-minute, but as a reminder, I am looking at other time frames, but I can only show so much here on the recorded portion of the screen. I'm going smaller because, you know, my day's pretty much over and I'm not the greatest afternoon trader, but I'd like to think I'm good enough to at least pull some profits out of the market here and there. So we'll see if I can get, again, starting very small, just 3 micros. And if it wants to give me a quick move back in my favor, I'll take it. But if it wants to allow me to build a little bit more, I will do that. But again, it's got to come down. My entry point is at that green line. And then my sell order is the dotted red line. So like I said, if it wants to move in my favor with a quick little scalp, I'll take it. But see if it wants to come down there or not. Yeah, that 5-minute, 50 period moving at. Maybe I might potentially be a tad bit too low because I am a little bit below the 50 period moving average. So I suppose as I look at it, I'm technically counting on a fake break of the 50 period moving average, but you know, it wouldn't necessarily be a massive fake break because, you know, I'm so close to it, but technically speaking, a little bit below. If you're enjoying these live trades like this, make sure you hit that like button. I'm always trying to figure out what parts of the live stream do people enjoy most. Is it the commentary? Is it the actual live trades? Okay, it's coming down. Nope, canceling. It was not filling me. I don't like that one bit. All right, we'll try down here at the VWAP at that point. That thing was just putzing like right at my order and would not fill me. So those are the ones where it's like, am I about to get filled? But when I get filled, that's like when the next flush push is coming. So I didn't like that at all. Gave it a chance, gave it a chance. It was hovering right above my order. It's like, okay, I've been here before. Usually when it hovers and hovers and hovers literally right above my order and then I get filled, that's like because there's the next round of a push down coming. So that is why I'm going down to the VWAP here, and we can start the... We can try down here, but it's looking now. Grant, to be fair, I still had room to build because I'd like overall more than 3. So it's not like this would have been a losing trade, but it would not have been the I don't think the optimal entry point at this point. Again, still could have been a green trade. Might have been able to add in another 3. So for all I know, maybe I would have had 6 contracts right here. But like I said, I don't like those situations where it stops right above where you want to get filled, and then stops, and then stops, and then all of a sudden goes. So here we go. It is heading down here. See if we can get the bounce off of VWAP. Or oh, come on. See what I mean? Now it's just hovering right above. All right, I'm going to cast. Is this a back test and go now? Back test of this former support, which now could very realistically be an area of resistance. You could maybe move it right there. What would that be? 75, and then up over there. So about a 25-point stop. So that's 40. That'd be about a $50 risk. I don't know if I like it enough to risk $50 on it. Again, I'm plenty green on the day, so I'm not. I want to respect everybody's time. If you're like, all right, is this dude a degen that's going to go and risk $800 on a trade? That's not what I'm going to do. I am trying to trade in a structured way. So if that's like the type of live stream you're looking for, let me save your time. I'm not gonna. You're not gonna see any risk where it's like, all right, I'm either getting huge green or I'm blowing up the account. You're not gonna see that. So yes, if you're like, wait, this guy's thinking through $50, I am, because I'm green on the day, and I'm trying to just make sure that nothing spins out of control. So yes, full disclaimer. If you're looking for degen trading, not going to find that. Not going to find that here. If you're looking for maybe some thought out trading, I'm not saying they're always going to be good thoughts, but at least some thought out trading, then yeah, stick around. Maybe you'll eventually like to hit that like button. Stupid question, but the like button is the thumbs up, right? That's not a stupid question at all. Is that the like button? Because now that you say that, I would assume so, but I don't know. Is a thumbs up, is that the like button? Frank says yes. Okay. All right. I could see something here where I wait for it to come back up and then a stop loss. But I don't want the risk profile to get too big on me here. So 31, well, that's already 15 points. I guess I could just do 1 instead of 3. Yeah, I'll do that. Buy, and then my stop will be down here. See if we can capture some sort of bounce off the VWAP. I only see 17. My likes say 31 right now. Again, if it wants to come up, I'm ready to click in my stop if it gets filled, or if my entry point gets filled. Like I said, we'll see if we can capture some sort of bounce off of VWAP here. Okay, I'm in. Let's see if we can push. But maybe it just suckered me in and it's going to come back down and take me out. Again, the play was, play was come up, boom, fill me, and follow through, but it didn't. I will say this, I'm glad I just changed to 1 micro, because had that been 3, that would have been actually a decent size one. Robert Green, hey Clay, new to the channel, and just want to say I like your presentation style and the way you real-time talk through these things. Oh, thank you, Robert. That's very helpful feedback. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for that feedback. Although on my phone today I can't see it, usually on my laptop, so this looks different. Nero, I don't know what 13. Shaw says 22. It almost sounds like people are seeing a different amount of likes. On my end, I see 33 likes right now. I don't know what all of you are seeing, but that's what I'm seeing. So we have ourselves just a good old-fashioned bleed here. I thought I might have been able to get at least some sort of bounce back upwards off of the VWAP there, but as of now, I see 18, John 30. Okay, I see what you see, John C. So my question, John C., are you on a computer or are you on your phone or what? To see the up-to-date likes, refresh the page. Okay. Thank you, Riff. So Riff says to refresh the page if you don't see the up-to-date likes. Not that that necessarily matters, but Alon, hello. Or I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Rodrigo, do you take NQ more seriously than MNQ? You're always green on the first. No. I don't know. I don't know. Rodrigo, maybe. Maybe it's like a subconscious thing that I'm not aware of. Potentially. Because the NQ definitely does need to be treated with a high amount of respect. So maybe. I don't know. Interesting question. I want to say no, I don't. But again, if I'm being objective and honest with myself, there could be some sort of subconscious bias where I'm not. But I always hesitate and push back when people use the word always. Because that part would not be true. Maybe more times than not. That's true, but that's not always. So no, I would push back and reject your thought or your statement that I am always red, because that one's not true. But yeah, maybe. I was in drawdown today, now green. Good job. Way to fight back. Well, that is how the cookie crumbles. So there's the bounce I was trying to capture off VWAP, but for those of you that saw that trade, I was just a little bit too early. Although, do I want to... Kind of got a bit of a interesting setup down here if it wants to come back down. Ah, you dirty dog. Well, if you've ever been there before where your overall idea is correct, my overall idea was some sort of bounce off VWAP. And yeah, I tried to play it, but I was just too soon. Caught it as it came up. Problem is it came back down, stopped me out, and now it's going back up. So if you've ever been there before, hey, you're not alone. There's at least 2 of us in the world. But that's why you just got to control. Because I realize right now, you could look and be like, well, this is the case for not using stop losses. This is a case against risk management. Because had you just held and hoped, had you had diamond hands, that would be a green trade. And I mean, that is true in this situation. That is true. This is an argument for diamond hands, for no stop losses. But anybody with any sort of experience knows that all it takes is just one of those where you don't have risk management, one of those where you don't have a stop loss, and it can be game over. I just logged on my laptop and I see 37. I click like and still 37. Yeah, I think it's just you got to refresh the page or whatever to see the current update. 60% of the time, I'm correct 100% of the time. Exactly. Just like you got to love those married bachelors, right? Got to love the married bachelor. We do have a back test right now of the 50 period, so should I be getting short here? What's that look like over here? I don't know. Well, I had it for the scalp already. Hmm, 85. Could work out. I got to be careful I don't just start slinging trades around for the sake of slinging trades. Let me tap that. All right, so just took a quick little scalp there to see. I like to do those sometimes to get an idea of how smooth the market may be moving. And if you blinked, you missed that one. But I made just a slight little gain on that one, so it is. I'm up slightly a little bit. Ready to go. I'm asking because I found myself way too many times doing small red trades after big green trades. Feels like I'm not alone. Well, I mean, I like some of those keywords, Rodrigo. Small red trades. That tells me that like maybe you're getting your gains on the NQ, and then you're like, let's see if I can build upon these gains, but I don't want to risk these gains in any sort of big way. So let me go with the MNQ. And that way, if I'm wrong, there's small red trades. So it sounds to me like you described a very good habit, a very wise approach. That's what that's what it seems like. I mean, because if you take the inverse of that, I'm asking because I found myself way too many times doing big red trades after a small green trade, right? So if I flip the opposite of all those, I mean, it's just like, I would say, Rodrigo, you're being smart. What? Oh, look at this. You can't make this stuff up. You heard me talking about the back test. Again, I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back, but charts, they're not a perfect tool, but they are a tool that I would love to teach you about. And look at this. You heard me. Oh, look, I should probably be getting short. It's at the back test. Look at that. What a coincidence, right where it came up and then got rejected. The classic back test and go. And I chose to just do a little scalp there. Well, there it is. Okay, is this a short though now? No, I'm not gonna, no. I also tried a short here. Really good scalp move already. I'm not scalping though. Tried to short at 11 or 18,105. Got right there, but didn't fill. Then fall. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, you're right. It never did break up through 18,100. Well, there it goes. Is that a scalp potentially down there? I could see that being a potential scalp. Down off of the 200 period moving average. We'll see if it wants to come down there or not. I mean, this is still an environment where I could go red just because we all know the past couple days have been absolutely bonkers. Today has slowed down a little bit, but all it takes is one Trump tweet or something, and I mean, it could all go away. But that is what I would argue is why, if you're not trading in a prop firm, especially, I mean, at any point, but especially over the past few days, if you're not in a prop firm, you are being very, very silly. You're being very, very unwise within your risk management department. So you better be trading in a prop firm these past few days, because and that's yeah. I'll just leave it there, because truly at any moment's notice something could happen and it could go bonkers. This account could be blown up, but because it's a prop firm, I'll live. You know, it's not like it's going to be all my money gone. But the people out there that are trading, and you know they're trading with their own money, like fully their own money, whether that's in stocks or options or crypto or Forex, or some people, even the people trading futures with their own money right now, they are crazy. Crazy. Risking so much that does not need to be risked. Will it come down? Will it come down? Come on down. See, I'm tempted to once again buy if it comes up like basically right here, but I still got PTSD. Still got recency effect of that one that did not work, so I'm not willing to have that again. It's an ego problem, because really the core of that is, well, I don't want to look stupid on the live stream where like the same trade doesn't work out twice in a row. So this is an ego, yeah, and of course it works right there. See? That's the problem with the ego right there, folks. That's the problem with the ego. I don't want to look stupid in the live stream, so I'm not going to take that trade. And then, oh, look, it's working out very nicely right now. Yeah, I'll cancel that order out for now. Maybe I'll think about it again. I would be very, very scared if anybody's drawing a trend line like that and saying I want to short the trend line. I'd be, again, do whatever you want. I would be scared because not that far below the breakdown of that trend line, you have the 200 period moving average. So you could get one of those situations where the price does indeed break down through here, but then it comes right to the purple or pink line and boop, bounce up it goes. So I suppose if you are thinking of shorting, maybe just consider the fact that it should be more of an aggressive type of scalp because you have a potentially big old area of support not that far away. Yeah, still take that. I'll give it a try if it wants to come down. Coach B. All right, Coach B has got a... Thanks for your page and streaming. How much do I need of my money to start trading futures? Is margin required? If I do take profit trader, am I able to limit orders on the charts? So the money you need is amazingly small, which is part of Pam's plan. So one of the reasons why, and Pam's plan is the undefeated argument, by the way. But Pam's plan is an argument for futures trade, or in the category of day trading. So if you want to be a day trader, Pam's plan suggests that you day trade futures through a prop firm. So one of the cool things, Coach B, about Pam's plan and about this strategy is just the low capital required. So you asked, well, how much money do I need to day trade futures? Well, with Pam's plan, not a whole lot at all, because when you look here, the bare minimum you would need, and this would allow you to get $25,000 of purchasing power, would be 105. So if you have 105, you could get 25,000 in buying power. How much is that going to buy you? Well, of a very, very volatile contracts, you could get up to 3 of those. But of the less volatile contracts, you could get up to 30 of those. So that is how it works. And then you got to pass the test. And then once you go from passing the test, you move into the pro account. And then the pro accounts, when you make that money, you get to keep 80% of it. If you go to the pro plus account, you get to keep 90% of it. But your all-in cost would be the 105. So that's what I mean by risk management. So you would lose the account. They would take it away from you, to which you can always get it back when you pay a fee. But if you're to lose, again, bare minimum, they're all different. But for the 25,000, if you're to lose 1,500, they'll take the account. But that's what I mean is, let's just say Trump tweets and something crazy happens, and then poof, 1,500 is gone. All the crazy people right now that are out there using their own money in stocks or options or all those other things, like that was just $1,500 of their money gone. In this situation, yeah, you would fail the test. They would take the account away from you. But was it actually $1,500 of your money that's gone? No, it would have only been 105. So that would be the bare minimum. If you have more than 105 and you want, on the other side of things, 150,000 worth of purchasing power, then that would cost you 252. Now that says per month, but that's just for the test phase. After you pass the test phase, so again, once you go from test to pro over here, there's no more monthly fee. So that monthly fee is just during the test phase. So you can take as long as you want during the test, but after you pass, that does go away. So that's how that did. Does that all make sense, Coach B? I had that trend line drawn. I'm not sure what trend line. I'm assuming a tick is a $1 move. Well, it depends on the future, but in the MNQ, which is I would recommend, 1 point is worth $20, or in the NQ, 1 point is worth $20. So 1 tick is worth $5 because there's 4 ticks in 1 point. So every tick is $5, but with as fast as it moves, it's just easier to talk in points. So 1 point is worth $20. I'm coming from the options world, and I keep hearing that futures are the way to go. Are you day trading in Coach B? Are you in the world of day trading? Let me ask you that, because I want to make sure that, because Pam's plan is only in the category of day trading. I started the process yesterday. Now I am waiting for the next step. Yeah, okay. Well then, yeah. So you know that day trading options, you have this nasty thing called theta. And you know that during these phases where the price is going, and for those of you that are not in options, I've said this before, but if someone were like, hey, Clay, and let's just imagine that you really don't like somebody, and like, because you really don't like them, give them a punishment in the world of day trading. My punishment to them would be, you're going to go day trade options. Because in the world of options, This sideways movement right here, so the price, I think we can all agree, is going sideways. But in options, you are losing money. Now, you would be totally correct to say, what are you talking about, Clay? What do you mean you're losing money? The price is going sideways. I know, but in options, there are these things called Greek, and one of the Greeks is called theta. And theta means that the value of your position goes down as time passes. So if it's just going sideways, you're going to ultimately be losing money, where that does not exist in futures. So that's my opening point of arguing against day trading options as opposed to futures, Coach B, is because you don't have to deal with theta. There is no theta in the world of futures. And then I don't know where you stand in terms of pattern day trading rule. I don't know if you have over the $25,000, but there's also no pattern day trading rule within futures, so you can day trade as much as you want. I was 2 ticks away from filling into a long swing. I just logged off after that. Good. Hey, good call. Good trading and maturity. Good trading maturity to log off, realizing that you're kind of about to go on tilt maybe a little bit. I got my TPT account, but it shows that the data feed is 10 minutes behind. Is there any way to update that? Data feed is 10 minutes behind. That should not be the case. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. My data feed right now, I'm using Take Profit Trader and Trade with 8. My data feed's not 10 minutes behind though. Last question. Am I able to place a stop order at, for example, 1800 to short into 1750? Yeah. So for example, I'm just going to get way out of the room. But if you're like, I want to go short here. So you could go sell right. Or let me change off this order type. So Coach, you could be like, I want to get short right here, for example. So you'd sell, and then I want my stop to be right there. So buy. And then you could walk away, right? Because it's either going to come up here, hit you, and then come up and stop you out, or it's going to hit you and then come back and then, or go down, and then when you come back, you're going to be up, trillions of dollars. But yes, to answer your question, you can totally do that all on the chart and in seconds, like you just saw right there. Just always remember, click that if you're done to order out. But yeah, again, if you want to short right there, okay, let's go sell, and then right there, you want to put your stop right there. There we go. That easy. Yeah, and if you want to support the channel and get the promotion, then please, Coach, use this link if you don't mind. If you'd like to, because yes, that is a referral link. So that, like I said, that's what I mean is a way to support the channel. I will get something for that, but you'll also get the promotion. You'll get the current discount, which is a really good discount and promotion right now. But yeah, I'll put it this way, Coach. I've never had anybody give Pam's plan a try in the day trading world. So we'll make sure you can see it all here. But I've never had anybody give Pam's plant a try and then come back and be like, yeah, no, I don't really like day trading futures with the prop firm. I have not had anybody say that yet. Everybody's like, whoa, I've been missing out. This is way better, especially the options traders, because I've traded options before. I know how theta is. I know how frustrating and annoying theta can be. But that is not the case here. I mean, quick $100. Good job, Gary. Or if you're using simulation, it could be behind. Yeah, yeah, Gary. Yeah, that's true, Gary. But whoever was at, who was that? Arub. Yeah, your data should not be behind. So I think you must have misclicked on something somewhere along the way. Do you always buy market? Nope, I use limit orders. What do you mean? What do you mean, Frank, it seems great? Can't you say that it is great? What is this seems nonsense? If this works, dinner on me if you're ever in Dallas. You all have a good day. Sounds good, Coach. All right. How are we doing on likes? Oh, not quite to 50 yet. Do we got at least 5 likes out there? Yeah, I'm on the Trade of 8 too. So I'm not sure what's going on in regards to that. Well, it never did go down. I'd love to be like, oh man, I'd be up so much because I said I would buy the 200 period. Well, I said I'd buy the 200 period. It never quite went down. My order would have been basically right at it. So would have been one of those moments where it would have been oh so close, yet oh so far away. Hey, Thomas, good to see you. Our friend from the UK, if I remember right. John C. was 47. We just need one more like. Let's get this thing up over 50. Well, could we try another back test? Perhaps. Perhaps. I'm going to keep an eye on the NQ, though, on this one, because there's a spot on the 5-minute that I really like. We're not really close to it, but I'll keep an eye on it. Rich Hilarious. Hey, Clay, are you still trading stocks, or have you moved over to futures? What prompted the change? Yeah, I'm totally trading futures through a prop firm. My members of the community have been telling me to switch to future for like 5 years now. And then the past 2 or 3 years, I've been saying get into a prop firm too. But I was totally sketched out by prop firms. Thought they were scams. But there was a bunch of lab rats in my community that were like, well, it's working for me. I'm getting paid, all that sort of stuff. And because these were all members that I have a lot of respect for, I'm like, okay. So gave it a try. And then to be frank, Rich Hilarious, I'm very upset at myself because, I mean, day trading, again, category of day trading. Day trading stocks is absolute garbage. It's a waste of time. It makes no sense. It makes no sense when you compare it to Pam's plant. You're taking on way too much risk, and then if you don't have the $25,000, you got to put up with the pattern day trading rule, and it really makes no sense. So, I really like this enough where it could be a bigger trade. So yeah, but I'm all in on Pam's plant, which is right here. The reason for why I'm trading futures through a prop firm. Day trading futures, I should say. And what didn't quite get up to where I wanted it to go. What is that, level 21? There we go. Look to try to take a little scalp there. Yeah, that's a nice little spot there via the 5-minute. My laptop must be lagging hard. I'm seeing for I don't know, something's off with it. I mean, James, is there a big difference between TradingView or Trade08? I can't. I've used TradingView charts just to like look at charts, but in terms of like in a real life day trading setting, I can't really speak to TradingView. Is there a major reason to pick one over the other? A major reason? I can't think of anything like that. Annie L, how do you schedule your trades around the announcement restrictions rule? I just don't trade at all, Annie, because there's there's a calendar. They'll email you when you're not allowed to trade, and it's a minute before, during, and then a minute after. So it's easy to just avoid. I'm definitely switching by the end of this year. End of this year, man, that's like 8 months away. I mean, so are you're not day trading anything right now, Thomas? Am I understanding you correctly that you are day trading nothing right now? Wait, what is that at now? 29. There we go. Got to adjust that a little bit. Okay, getting close. Close. Not filling me again, as I talked about earlier. Stopping right before to fill me. Okay, in for 3. And out for, again, just a quick little scalp there. I would have been okay on the NQ, but wasn't willing to risk it because it did actually push up through. Oh, now it comes down. But yeah, pushed up through the 50 period that time. That time it was the direct rejection. That time didn't quite hit it, and that time went slightly above it. So still took it, but I lost a little bit of trust. Not enough trust to not take the trade at all, but I lost enough trust to not want to take it with the NQ. And that's why I love futures again, because with the choices, you can adjust the trust levels. Again, at first I trusted enough and I wanted to do the NQ, which is where the gains can add up in a hurry, but so can the losses. But because I lost some trust, but not all trust, I was like, all right, let me try it on the MNQ. The MNQ. So again, first started off wanting to do the NQ because that moves very quickly, but I lost some trust. So I'm like, all right, Not interested in that, but I still have trust. So let me go do that one. And then that's what I did for a quick little scalp there. Would have done more than 3, but it just went in my favor fast enough. So James, does TPT automatically restrict you from trading news? You know, you got to be aware. They'll email you. There's a calendar on the dashboard, and they also email you beforehand every day. If there is, but like these events are very rare. But no, they don't restrict. Well, no, they tell you, but it is up to you. It'll be up to you to restrict. No trading right now. If I can, I will get into futures in a couple months. If I can, the fully. Oh, okay, that's fine. I was just saying, Thomas, if you're like currently trading something, you're like, well, I'm gonna wait until the end of the year before I get out of day trading stocks, for example. It's like, oh man, you should just probably do that right now. You're gonna regret waiting that long. So another area that looks interesting to me to short is the overnight high, that pink line. Especially right now, if we were to shoot up there, because then you have a very well-defined stop loss. You could get up above that purple line. You could get up above the big old round number of 18,200. But that's also assuming that it shoots up there relatively quickly. Because eventually, because that is a moving average, this line here is going to move down below the pink line. Yeah, this candle here is suggesting a potential move down. Same with the 5-minute. I'm curious to see what this candle closes and looks like when it's done moving around. Because for the 5-minute, you could be getting one of these situations where you could get in here with a stop up over the highs. But again, it just depends on how many points are you willing to risk. So, but we got to wait for the 5-minute to finish closing. Minutes looking pretty good though. We'll see. Maybe another setup comes about. Coming up on the hour mark. So for those of you that are maybe new around here, I aim to go 2 hours, and then I'm open to keeping the party going if there's still interest, and interest is always gauged via likes and super chats. So not even at an hour yet, but definitely I want to see 100 likes by the 2 hour mark. So we have an hour and 2 minutes to get from 53 likes up to 100 to keep this party going. So plenty heads up, or $20 in super chats, whatever comes first. So either $20 in super chats, or like I said, get this up over 100 likes. So there's the 1 hour warning that if we want to keep the party going. So this is actually a very interesting setup here on the 5-minute. About 25, yeah. It didn't really come up high enough where I'd be interested in it. Okay, I'm going to keep my eye on the 5-minute. No, I only have to wait because my girlfriend has to stay with her grandma in Paraguay. I'm in the UK. When the tickets to get back are around, $2,000. When she's back, I can focus. Yeah, that's a $2,000 plane ticket. I wouldn't exactly call a low-cost plane ticket. So I hear you, Thomas. Yes, you could draw a trend line in like that. I would be very nervous to take it based on the 5-minute taking that break. I mean, obviously, I'm not the be-all end-all, so that could be a very stupid statement, a very unjustified fear on my part, but I would not do that based on... I would not take that trend line break. I mean, we'll get that trend line in here anyways, just so we can kind of track it. But I'm not a fan of that one. I think this line can get... I don't know if it's really serving any more purpose, so I don't even remember why we had that in here in the first place. So we're going to get rid of that level for now. Still have some key levels of support. So if the bears are going to try to take back over, if the shorts are really going to get their bigger payday, then yeah, they got some big construction projects. They got to be able to bust through there, and they also got to be able to bust through the 200 period moving average. So, you know, if bears are going to get, like I said, I'm not saying any, like they could get a payday for the scalpers. I mean, even if from where it is right here, even if it just comes down to that level, I mean, that's still plenty of opportunity to get paid. But that's why I'm trying to emphasize a bigger payday. So that does, I mean, it's whispering my name to buy, but no, I don't like it because over here on the 5-minute, we have the 50 period right up overhead. So it's one of those situations where does it break the trend line and then get rejected right off of the 50 period moving average? As always, no guarantees, but that's why it has me nervous to take that level. But maybe you see something else and you're like, no, Clay, unjustified fear, get long, let's go. Yeah, take care, Thomas. Like I said, I am not the be-all, end-all. I'm just giving you my thoughts on what I'm seeing. But if you see something else and you are like, nope, unjustified, I'm buying that breakout, I'm buying that trend line, I hope it works out for you. Unless I get short there, then I want you to lose a whole bunch of money because that would mean that I'm making a whole bunch. I'm only looking for shorts today. Really? Okay. Well, I hope you weren't around this morning because you got roasted. Well, the 5-minute is trying to roll over. I mean, a nice setup there. Oh boy. It's really just how aggressive do I want to get? Like how much of my gains do I want to potentially give away? Because I could see buying here, adding some more, adding some more, adding some more, and then stop down below there. And if I get a bounce, I'm going to get paid very nicely. But if I don't, I mean, I don't think I want to give away my entire day, but that would be a more of a painful of a loss. So that's really my question. I don't know if I want to, but I can see trying to build a position in this potential support zone for a bounce back upwards. But if this is not a support zone, at this point, I'll just go right here. In my theory, it's going to be a red day today. Yeah, and what's that theory based off of? Out of curiosity, your theory is it's going to be a red day today, so it's going to be coming down over 460 points. So what's your theory that leads you to believe that it's going to come down over 460 points? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying what's your theory, or maybe I should say, well, you told me what your theory is that it's going to be red. Why do you have that theory? What makes you lead to the conclusion of that theory? That seems very arbitrary. It seems very like I'm kind of just making stuff up. But, I mean, maybe you have really good reasoning. So why is that your theory? Can't really explain in text. Well, that's not a good sign if you can't explain. I'm not sure why you wouldn't be able to explain in text. Like I said, when people are like I said, I don't know, maybe you have a really good theory, but that's also you trading off your gut. I don't trade off my gut. I don't trade off theories. I just trade off of what I'm seeing, and that's why I use charts. I'm not saying that's the right way to do it or that's how everybody's got to do it, but yeah, I don't have those theories because those can cause me to be very biased. All right, coming down. Can we get a bounce? Right off of the pink line there. So I chose poorly. I had a choice. I could choose the pink line itself, or I could choose the lows of these candles right here as the entry point. And yeah, I chose poorly. I chose the lows, but as you saw, it actually bounced right off the pink line. So I had a 50-50 odds of choosing the bounce area, and it didn't work out. Because I've tried that before, where I show up, I'm like, okay, I think today's going to be a green day or a red day. And then I have this bias. And then I keep trading. Like the chart is telling me one thing. It's like going against my bias, but I have this bias. So that's why I'm not a big fan of, I'm not good at that way. I like to just trade the reality. And my argument is the reality is what's in front of you. And what's in front of me, at least, is the candlestick charts. James' theory is that it's going up. How did he arrive at this theory? He flipped a coin. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how you do it. That's one way. That has worked for me in the past weeks. Maybe I'm lucky. Well, I don't know. I don't know how new you are. I don't know how big of a data set is, but a few weeks, or for me, the past weeks, I don't know how many weeks it is, but yeah, a couple weeks where you're like, I think it's going to be bearish today, and then you just do everything short. I don't know if a few weeks is really a big enough sample size for that. But again, to be fair, everybody's got their own groove. Maybe you are like a savant. You could be a genius where like your gut instincts are just like spot on. But I don't have that good of gut instincts. So that's why I got to just, I'm a mere peasant. I got to just look at the chart and trade what's in front of me. Well, this thing just continues to bleed. Never did even break up through that area. Well, the bears have been doing construction. They broke down through there. They've now broken down through there, putting in the work. Steffi probably making a bunch of money. Why do you do small amounts of money? I mean, if you seem to be like in a good groove. It's been working, so why are you doing small? Get big. You seem to be like a savant. Your gut instincts seem to be like on next level. Like, did you take any of this short? I mean, you're bearish biased. Good for you. Did you get anything from here? Again, as a reminder, the party will continue, but we got to get this up to 100 likes within the next, basically, 54 minutes. So if you have not hit that like button, you want things to continue, make sure you hit that like button. All right, Steffi, I guess I'll believe you, but I'm not a huge fan of the hindsight stuff like, oh, I've been short since 18,100. Well, now you tell us. I'm more a fan of when people call things out beforehand. To be fair to you, maybe you did and I missed the message. Done for the day, $1,500. Good job. Very good job. Congrats. Good job. Yeah, Steffi, where's your target price at? That's a good point, James. So where's this thing going? Where's your target? And where's your stop at right now? I don't know. Is this? Let me cook here for a second. I might be getting spicy here in the kitchen. No, not as much. No, that's kind of fitting a square peg through a round hole. I think. Let's see. I mean, maybe is that? Am I trying? Is that a try hard? I think that's a try. Now, I'm not quite sure that really makes sense. The charts I look at don't have the same price on the right for some reason. Well, what are you trading? That's wait, what? Are you trading something differently than we're watching here? That has me very worried for you. But maybe you realize you're trading something differently. Are you trading the ES? Or are you trading the NQ? We are looking at the NQ, or we're technically looking at the MNQ here. All right, is this a short at this trend line here? I'm looking at US 100. Gotcha. I'm not sure what the US 100 is. I mean, this is the technically the E-mini NASDAQ 100, but I don't know what US 100 is. Okay, well then I have no idea why your prices are different on the right. I don't know. I have no answers in that regard. If anybody has any suspicions on how, I think we're looking at the same, trading the same thing, but their prices are different. I don't know though. I got nothing. All right. Oh boy, is this a short right here at this trend line? Could be. We got the trend line and we have the 21 EMA and I missed it. To be fair, it never even really hit the 21 EMA. But I would say not a coincidence that a red candle here is showing up for that moment right at these areas. Time delayed quotes. Yeah, maybe, Steven. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not buying that breakout, though. Maybe I should. I don't trust it enough to buy it from the long side. But we'll let hindsight be our judge on if that's a bad or good decision. Maybe a different contract. Yeah, yeah, perhaps. I don't know. And I guess not that majority rules, but in some senses, majority rules. For those of you that are watching the MNQ or just the NQ, do you all see these prices over here? No, I'm not using StreamYard. I'm using just just the YouTube's platform, and there is a little bit of delay, but it's like 3 to 5 seconds, so I can't imagine it being that much of a delay. Yep, see what you see. Okay, yeah. I don't know what's going on with Steffe. Steffe's in like a alternate universe or something. Maybe they're like the Terminator that's been sent back from the past. Or no, wait, I'm sorry, sent back from the future. Maybe they're a cybergenetic or whatever that saying is. I am a cybergenetic organism sent back from the future. Steffe, are you here? Are you looking for John Connor, Steffe? Be honest. Are you looking for John Connor? Don't lie, Steffe. I think Steffe's looking for John Connor. All right, it is now noon Eastern Time. US 100 is a different product. Well, that would make sense. And that's what I've been kind of thinking this entire time is, well, I don't know, but they said that it trades the NASDAQ. And this does up here say, I think that's on the screen, is it? Or is it behind? But right here it says E-mini NASDAQ 100 right up there. Well, I'm glad I trusted the don't buy the break call there. That's right back down. I'm worried that Steffe has not replied to the are they looking for John Connor? That's like, did they just go into freak out mode? Like, uh-oh, they figured me out. We're doing pretty good on likes. Again, we got 45 minutes to get this thing up to 100 likes. So we still got a ways to go. But if you do want to make sure the party continues, we got to get this up to 100 likes or, I don't even remember what I said, $20 in super chats. He'll be back. Yeah, that's true. Now this could be, is this the entry point long stop down here? I could see something like that making sense, because if it does, I'm just talking out loud to myself, if it comes down here, and if you get some sort of, but you have to worry about the trend line. If you don't think it can break that trend line, then that's not really the greatest risk reward. But if you do think it can break the trend line and get upside, then yeah, that could be a really nice risk reward. So in my opinion, at least, it all has to do with the belief of the trend line. I'm really bad at typing English. I just sound stupid, chat. I'm sorry if I sound... No, you don't sound rude. You're fine. We're just trying to figure out why. Like I said, I was worried for a second. Like, is my platform off, or is? But it sounds like you were just trading a different product. I would still like to know where your price target's at, though. You said you're short 18,100. So where's your stop loss? Where's your price target at? Still would like to know that. That would be interesting to know. I'm not saying that you're doing this, but it would not be the first time for somebody shows up and they're like, oh, I was in here, and it's like a hindsight, but they don't say anything else, and it's like, were you stopped out yet? Oh, no, and then it's, oh, before they know, oh yeah, and now I'm out, and it's like, wow, that was like the perfect exit. Amazing. Again, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but that's why I do think it's always interesting to figure out where people are at and thinking before it happens, which is why I try to kind of talk through these things. So whether or not I even take the trade, at least I can be held accountable in the sense of, whoa, that wasn't even closer. Hey, good job. But yeah, as of right now, like I said, my I don't want to say my credibility's on the line, but I guess my thoughts are on the line. Maybe thoughts are the same as credibility, but like I said, I'm not a believer in this trend line right here. But I could be proven to look very stupid here in a little bit. But I'm throwing it out there. I'm throwing my hat in the ring in terms of my thoughts. I'm not going to come here like a book will, right? A book will find the breakout, draw the trend line, and be like, see, that's where you buy. It's like, well, how convenient is that? That's why books, don't buy books to learn how to trade. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Books are garbage for learning to trade. Anybody can write a book and be like, well, the place where you get short, or, the place where you do whatever, and then you just look back in history. Whoa, that's okay. So you're not really a you're a day trader, I guess, Steffe, but you're like a swing trade day trader. Like, basically what you just said is, I'm looking for a move 460 points in my favor. I'm not saying that's wrong, but like if that's your criteria, that you're looking for a red day, then you're saying that you need this to move 470 points in your favor. That's pretty wild. Good. Hey, if it works for you, that's great. So, and you said your stop is slightly above the recent high. So, I guess you're risking, because you said you got in at 18,000. Well, I don't know what you mean by recent high. This one or this one. But either way, yeah, wow. You have a relatively tight stop for as many points as you're going for. So you're risking like 50 points to make, or looking for about 500 points. So, you're at about a 10 to 1. I like that. I'm just saying that's interesting. That's an interesting way. You're good, however, if you don't see prices on the right, that's a problem. Yeah, no, you can see. Okay, yeah, I think you're talking to Steffe. Yeah, not being able to see prices, that would be a problem for sure. How many trades did I take to make that 1135? Two. Yep, 2. Yeah, which reminds me. So this was redder earlier. No, yeah, actually slightly redder. But so I went green, and then I never did explain. But then earlier today, this came down, and then this candle here, I was looking for so it came up here, it broke, and then came all the way back down, and my thinking was, oh man, there are so many longs that are so disappointed right now. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of a break. So that trend line is right there, and if you look closely, you can see that the trend line did break down through there. And at that point, when it broke, the highest that candle had gone was like right there, give or take a little bit. So I got short right here, and then I was now if I was scalping, that would have been a winning trade because I got enough of a move for a scalp, but I was choosing not to scalp. I wanted to see this thing pick up some momentum to the downside. So I had 3 micros, and then you can see there it broke, and then came back up and stopped me out. So it suckered me in from the short side, but I will say this, I'm glad that I did not go into degen mode because had I just not, had I held and hoped, you'll notice that that thing never came even close to coming back down. So yeah, it was, I don't remember what it was, like a couple $100 loss. But I had already been solidly in the green. So that is what ultimately sent me red. That was my own, wait, no, I've had a losing trade on the live stream. But before the live stream losing trade, that was my earlier losing trade. I thought that for sure that fake breakout and then that move down had broken the hearts of the bulls. But little did I know, I was about to have my heart broken into a million pieces. Not really, because I was disciplined and honored the stop loss, which was relatively tight. But yeah, I thought that was happening, but yeah. So I would have been right. I would have been green had I chosen the scalp method, which I often do is the scalp, because like I said right here, it did break down through that line, and at that moment I was watching and saying, okay, I could lock in I don't remember what it was, like a quick 150. I'm making that number up. I don't know if it was exactly 150, but the point I'm trying to convey is I had enough room with that breakdown for a scalp. But like I said, I was wanting to move a little bit more in my favor. I was not in a scalp mode, but I should have been. So that was one of those instances where the scalpers were like, I'm glad I scalped. People like me that were like, no, let's give this thing a chance to move more for me, are saying, shouldn't have done that. Yeah, so this trend line here has just been, again, it's all a matter of perspective. If you are a scalper and you bought like right there, you did get a move as high as right there. So I would think that's probably enough for a scalper to make their gains. But if you're looking for more, you're pretty disappointed right now as the price did roll back over. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that level. Do I take this short, though? The 200 period moving average. Is that a short? The Immortal Trader. Hello. Hopefully your day is going well. We're doing pretty good on likes. Again, we got about 28 minutes, but we need 27 more likes or $20 in super chats. So again, if you want the party to continue and you have not hit that like button yet, which is the thumbs up as we discussed earlier, make sure you hit that like button, and that'll make sure that, because again, I'm going to go for sure go for at least 2 hours, but it's just one of those things where if there's still interest in the party continuing, then I'll keep going. But in order to measure the quote-unquote interest, that's where I use the like button and super chat. So just keep that in mind if you haven't hit the like button yet. Oh boy, is this a short to the downside? Because if we just ignore that blip, basically we have a big wedge pattern right now. We have this, and then if we just use the pink line there as our lower trend line, there's the wedge. Now, if you want to argue, Clay, you should not be skipping those lows. That's fair enough. Like I said, if you're willing to skip those lows, then we're looking at a wedge. And the question just becomes, which way is this wedge going to break? Because we're going to need an answer. Because as you can see here, the wedge is running out of room. Which way is she going to go? Which way? Let's see. Oh, this is getting spicy. Oh, I like that too. There's a nice tread line over here on the 5 minute. Oh, so that's a trend line on the 5 minute. Problem is the 200 period is right below here on the 2 minute. So is this going to be one of these things where it breaks through the trend line on the 5 minute and is looking great, and then right here on the 2 minute, boing. All right, never mind. Never mind on the 5 minute trend line. That 200 period moving average is freaking me out on the 2 minute. That's why I think a multiple time frame analysis is always probably a wise move. I mean, maybe. Is this trend line going to be something to keep an eye on? I guess we'll see if it wants to respect it right here. I think the more interesting dynamic is that purple line there, the 50 period moving average. Can it push up through there? Or is this trend line the trend line? I like that trend line right there because that's basically the value. All right, so this is what I'm looking at over here on the 5-minute. So that lower trend line right there, as we just noticed, is essentially the 200 period on the 2-minute. There we go, that works. So is that showing up on the screen? I think so. Yeah, there we go. So that trend line that I drew here on the 5-minute, which I like quite a bit, is coinciding very, very nicely here with the pink line here. Although, as of right now, this is pushing up through. So yeah, I'm pretty leery from the long side right now. But if this thing wants to come back down, I may be able to convince myself that this could be a good short and look for some momentum to the downside. So that'll be the thought. But as of right now, it's pushing upwards. I'm going long next entry. Well, where are you going long at, Hoover Flag Trader? Where are you going long at? That's what we want to know. You're thinking long. I'm thinking I'm not really comfortable going long. But so I'm curious, where are you going to go long at? I'm going long next entry. Well, where is your next entry at? Yeah, it's just kind of chopping around. I just threw this chart on here as kind of an experiment. I'm not quite sure if the chart really cares about it. I guess it seems to relatively care about it. In my opinion, though, the level that the chart would care more about is that purple line there, which again is the 50-period simple moving average. Where'd Hoover go? Hoover, where's your entry point at? We want to know. Uh-oh, Hoover. To be fair, we don't know if Hoover has been in yet. And also, to be fair, just because there's this red candle, that thing can recover back upwards. Hoover's silence is deafening. Where did Hoover go? Did Hoover just blow up his account? Is he currently shopping for cardboard boxes? Oh my goodness, Hoover. Hoover! All right, I cannot get short here. That's chasing. I wanted more of a slower move down here. And if I get left behind, then so be it. But that was not the type of approach to this level here that I was looking for. Maybe I'm going to be the fool. I can't take it. There seems to be just as much of an, this feels very 50-50 at this point. 50 that I could bounce back up, and from a short standpoint, even if it's just a dead cat bounce that eventually rolls back over, if the bounce is too much, well, it's going to stop me out. But I could, if this is like the start of a much bigger bloodbath, and I can see it going, but I'm not here to take 50-50 trades. Like, there's no edge at a 50-50. I'm not here to flip coins. But that's in my mind. Again, that's just what I'm seeing. Maybe you see something else that you're like, no, Clay, that's not 50-50. It's, X and Y because of A, B, C reasons. Cool. Like I said, these are just my thoughts, but I'm not, that was not the approach I was taking. And Hoover's silence has me terrified. I'm going long next entry, and then this has happened. Hoover, are you okay? The silence is killing me. Do we get a little miniature back test here? Back test and go. Yeah, we'll go with one. We'll go with one if it wants to come back up. And it's not. And it just keeps dropping. Now it's a question of, is this going to be a little miniature back test and go? So we have a big old kind of bear pole here. Are we going to build out a little bit of a flag and then get down? I could see being interested in that. So if this thing wants to kind of do something like this. That was not the... So that and something like maybe that. If it can kind of putz around in here, then we'd have a nice little bear flag. Then I could see myself being interested with the break to the downside. But whether or not it's going to putz around and play in my little magical world, I have no idea. Isn't Hoover a vacuum company? I don't know. They used to be. I don't know if they're still around. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, goodness. Hoover! Where are you, Hoover? Oh, my goodness. Well, shame on me. Yeah. Hindsight has been my judge. I suppose I had nothing to fear. Should have just got short, but that was not the approach I was looking for at all. Hoover is in the high school I went to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm scared for Hoover. I'm going long next entry. But to be fair to Hoover, he was still too broad, so we don't even know if he got long. Oh, ES 551. Oh, you're trading the ES. Did the ES do something similar? He got in at 51.99. Oh, okay. Well, oh, all right. So you weren't buying up here. You're saying I want to buy a pullback. So he bought the pullback right here, and then he's just saying he lost. Good job keeping it disciplined. Good job, Hoover. Very, very relieved to know that you did not buy like the breakout right there. Those people are having a bad day right now. Well, let me rephrase. Those people that did not use a stop loss are having a bad day. Yeah, what am I? Yeah, this is just... I'll get rid of that, and we'll just use that pink line there as the... Yeah, because now, I mean, getting down short anywhere down here seems like too much of a chase. But can we get a back test to... I don't know, even those... So this is where... This is where it can make sense. Because if this is the start of a resistance zone, and if that's kind of your line in the sand stop loss, do you build a position right here? And that's one of those things where if it goes in your favor, you're going to be getting paid very nicely. But if it comes up and stops you out, again, it doesn't necessarily ruin your account, but could put a big dent in your day. And is that for me? Do I want to risk putting a dent in my day, or am I happy with these gains? I just don't think I'm willing to put a dent in my day. Like I said, that could be where you start to build, and then your line in the sand stop loss is up there. So you have about a 50-point range here where, you could get short, at... there we go. You get short right there, then you get short some more right there, maybe some more right there, and some more right there. And then you just put your stop loss right here, and that's just the mountain where you're going to kind of plant your flag and die in if you need to. But if it comes up here and fills those and then rolls back over, and then you get some, like I said, those are big paydays. But you can't have paydays unless you're willing to take on some risk. But we'll see what happens. Okay, I think we'll hit it. I don't know. We have 27 minutes to get 19 more likes or $20 in super chats in order to keep the party going. So if you have not hit that like button, I will go 2 hours regardless. But if you want me to go beyond the 2-hour mark, keep the party going. Let's get this up to at least 100 likes. So just keep that in mind. If you have not used your like yet, please consider doing so we can keep the party going, assuming you want to keep the party going. Oh, this is kind of tempting. Could I? So you just get short there, stop right there, about a 20. And that seems like chasing still too much. Oh, I didn't even see that. Look on the 5-minute. Are we going to get a bounce off of that? What is that, 70? Yeah. I'll throw my hat in the ring at 70. Where's 70? Right there, I think. Yeah, let's see if I can get a little scalp there. It can keep bleeding. Don't buy dips without stops. Yeah, it can keep bleeding. That's for sure. That is for sure. Didn't even see that 5-minute on the 5. I didn't see the 200 period moving average on the 5-minute, but now it's bouncing up from there. All right, I'll cancel that out for now. But that is definitely a very interesting level. If this wants to come back down, will it bounce off of that 200 period moving average? We'll see if it can come back down there. Oh, look where the 15 minutes at. 15 minute is basically, you also have, 70 is, you got to try to go. 70 is the 50 period on the 15 minute. It is the 200 period on the 5-minute. So we got some confluence right there. What did I say, 70? See if I can get a little bit of a bounce off there. If not, I'm willing to pick up a bit more. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm in. See what it wants to do. Again, only 3, so I'm willing to get some more. And I will get aggressive on this because I like that the thought that it'll at least go up and back test those, which would be enough for a profitable trade. So started very... Oh, no. I did NQ. Oh, brother. Great. Come on. I do not have as much flexibility that I thought I had. You gotta be kidding me. Ugh. I still do like it, though. I don't know. It's a live stream account. Maybe we'll just have a blow up here of why you shouldn't. All right. I still like it, though. Let's go. I'm officially don't behave like this, but this is the benefit of a prop firm account is if things spin out, oh well, but like I said, I still do like that confluence point. Okay. Come on, push up through. There we go. All right. Worked my way out of that one. Don't trade. Yeah, don't trade like that. Again, I had extra confidence because there was that confluence point, but there was a lot of mistake. Well, the main mistake was I did not want to be trading the NQ. I thought I was on the MNQ. And I'm still looking for a bigger bounce. I could see a bigger bounce coming because worst case, it wants to at least come up here and back test. So I can see it very realistically coming back up to 70. But I really lost flexibility. But that was you don't want to do that. That was bad. Again, like I said, I can see it coming back up to the 70 mark, which is that crosshair right there. But I pretty much already did at one point. But I think that's just part of live streaming. Is something because I think that's now like the 5th time I've done that over the past couple months of live streaming, where I thought I was on the MNQ, but I was on the NQ, and then Well, so that was a bad trade because it was never the plan to. Well, it was the plan to buy more. But the problem is I thought I was starting with 3 micros, not 3 NQs. So it did still work out to buy more, but it was the amount of risk being taken on was way too much, and that's why I just hopped out as soon as I could. Yeah, I did it I think I've done it like once a week now since the start. So that's what I mean. It wasn't a terrible trade because the whole idea was start small, give yourself some wiggle room, and the wiggle room worked out fine, but I didn't have as much wiggle room because I went NQ instead of MNQ. So like I said, moral of the story, before you make a trade, especially whatever platform you're using, but the way it works on Tradeovate, check the tab. If you think you're trading MNQ, make sure, you're on MNQ. Because I was on NQ and yeah. But it worked out. Oh boy. Well, there we go. Some seat of your pants trade in there. But do you see what I mean about how it's wanting to backtest? Now, whether or not it ever gets back above that pink line, I don't know. But I had confidence that when it was down here, it's gonna want to at least backtest, and it has officially backtest. So that's where the confidence was coming from, especially when it approached in such an overextended state. And remember the 15 minute, we also had that confluence point right there. So that 70 mark was quite the important area. And it worked out and would have worked out more. But like I said, I just couldn't. I couldn't weather the storm because I chose the wrong contract size. Had I been in MQs, then these storms or this movement is easier to catch. Does that explain the earlier price differences? No, that doesn't. Hey, all right, I like the chances. We're only 9 away. We got 20 minutes to go, 9 more likes. But we're at $0 super chat on the day. Brutal. Brutal. That is Tuesday? Man, is Tuesday the day everybody spends extra money at the vending machines? All right, now, so there is now officially the bounce off of the 200 period again on the 5-minute right here. Again, would I be capturing that perfectly with the micros? That's not my claim, but I can still very realistically see myself in there, just because having 6 or 9 micros is way different than having 3 NQs. Now it's a question of, do we get some sort... Ooh, I'm about to cook. Let me cook. Let me cook. Yeah, that right there. Is that a rejection trend line? Yeah. To me, that's a fascinating trend line. Let's see. Let's see how it does with that trend line there. I'm cooking. Just let me cook. Can you look at people's addresses on Google? No. All right, I gotta. So I'm getting fiber internet. Fiber just came to the neighborhood on the 15th. So I guess on the 15th, I don't think it won't be a normal live stream because I think it'll be getting installed. So maybe that'll be a later day one. But anyways, long story short. So the guy was here, the salesman, and I'm like, because right now we're in town, but in Iowa we bought some acreage, and we're going to be building on this acreage. So I've been planning Starlink this whole time. But then I was just kind of throwing it out there as like a Hail Mary. Like, yeah, I mean, is there any chance that fiber is going to be run out to like the gravel roads and country? He's like, yeah. He's like, this was the last neighborhood here, and we're going to expand. So then on Saturday, we went out to our property because we had to meet the excavator there. But anyways, and we saw like along the road, like they're white posts with orange caps, and it says fiber optic. And then one of them was right at the end of the gravel road. So I just text the, okay, we're at that tread line. I could see short here. How much of a risk is that? I'll take that trade on the NQ on here. So step one is did it push up through there? Nope, we're still good. So I'll get short there unless it pushes up through there and destroys the risk profile. Never mind. Risk profile is no longer the same. Okay, never mind on that. But anyways, he's like, yeah, we are. So right now I'm trying to figure out. I gotta give him a piece of information. That's my long answer of why I'm kind of looking off screen. But all right, another area that I could see being of interest is this former support. So is this going to act as now a resistance right there? Ooh, getting a little bit of confluence here with that level right there. Whoa. I turned my... What time is it? Did somebody tweet? Well, that was quite the move. Exactly, AB Beast. Just let me cook. Well, the tread line there wasn't perfect, but... Mohammed, it's like I'm way behind on it. I think it was a meme from like 10 years ago. And I was watching a video with my kids on YouTube, and like part of it, like they threw in the little clip about let him cook. So, like I said, I'm a dad of 6 kids. All right, I'm way behind the times. I get it. I'm using memes that I know you young people in the chat are like, dude, that was like the thing to say like 13 years ago. I know. Get off my lawn. I know. Okay. Why didn't you take the trade, Clay? I just told you why. The risk profile changed on it. Now, I might have found something, but I was looking down at my phone texting. And when I looked back up, that big old... So I don't even know how fast that red candle showed up. So I really have no idea if there was anything workable at all, because I did not see the formation of that red candle. Last I was looking, the price was poking its head up above here, and then I looked down. So, but why didn't I do it? Well, the risk profile changed from my original trade plan, and then I looked down. Yeah, did you take it, Shane? Yeah, relax was like, look up, Clay, you're missing it. Say it louder next time. Now, bear flag. On what time frame? I'm not seeing any. Now, I can see the potential of a new bear flag forming. So we have a lower trend line here. So if this does something like this, and then you have that right there, I can see a new bear flag forming. Oh, ES? Yeah. So if that's the bottom part of it, if that's the top, yeah, I would call that, I mean, we're in the weeds. I would call that a bear pennant, but bear flag, bear pennant. I see what you're saying. So yeah, I could see that. Question is, do you get the break to the downside? So this is the ES, bear pennant here forming. If it breaks, does it go? Well, why don't you take it, Shane? You said it was a good setup. Come on, Shane. You got to take that trade. Uh-oh. Are we going to have one of these photo finishes for the likes? Still need 7. Have 12 minutes. So if you want the party to go beyond 2 hours, make sure you hit that like button. Are we going to fill that gap? That is a good question. But this is the trend line here. Like this, I'm not trying to press you by drawing that trend line. Everybody and their brother's uncle has drawn that trend line. So do we get a self-fulfilling prophecy where it breaks down through there and then gets more pushed to the downside? And I suppose we are getting, in a sense, an overall bear pennant. Because if we count this and then bring it down like that. And then for you golfers, let's get the golf hole up here. Upside down pennant makes it a bear pennant. Oh, we're at the lows. Poking down through somewhat. Wait, I already have. So right there. Ooh, did poke. Oh, don't do the bears dirty like that. I'm guessing some are waiting for confirmation through the break of the lows. So they're waiting for confirmation of the trend line through the lows right there. I mean, this is better than any Hollywood movie. You're not going to convince me that there's any movie better than this action right here. The anticipation. Are the Bears going to get that sweet, sweet continuation? Looking good for him right now. Through the lows. Through those lows. Are the longs going to start stopping out? Well, I don't know. I don't know how many movements here really would have suckered in longs. I mean, maybe that right there was suckered in some longs. But I can see a lot of longs being hesitant about that. So I don't know if that necessarily brought in a bunch of longs. So yeah, at this point, I'm not really sure there's many long stop losses hanging out there. I would assume more of the long stop losses were up in this area of the chart because through all of this, I can see, suckering in some longs. But again, I guess maybe you had some degen longs trying to get suckered in there. But yeah, I don't know if there's going to be that many long stop losses. And why would that matter? Which is a good question because a stop loss promotes selling. And if you're going short, selling is a good thing. Trade of 8 just went to $20 intervals. Been 50 all morning. It can't be volatility because yours is still 50s. Well, I don't know why, Emmy. I don't know why. You keep asking the wrong guy. I'm not Trade of 8. Ask them. I wish I had answers for you, buddy. But I don't. I have no answers. I know I'm good looking, but that doesn't mean I have all the answers. Well, the bear pennant played out. I'm assuming it played out nicely on the ES2. Yep, sure did. Very nice. Bear pennant breakdown. Now, if I hit this, it'll probably change. Let's see. Zoom out. There you go. No, I guess it's still 50, huh? I don't know. Do you have this on? Do you have the... Emmy, look at this. When you click on continuous autofit, what do you have? Mine is at off. This market might actually hold if ES 5160 yesterday's... Yeah. It seems plausible. I don't know if it's going to hold, though. It just dawned on me, Steffe, you know, they wanted 500 points. They're only about 190 points away. They're up hundreds of points right now. Trump increased tariffs. That's why we're dropping right now. Any reason you use the EMA instead of SMA? I use both, relax. I use both. Elon Musk calls Peter Navarro dumber than a sack of bricks. All right. So we got some people. I don't see anything about tariffs going up. Are you sure? Who said that? Where did you see Trump increase tariffs? I don't see anything that's breaking news. Trump increased tariffs. I'd have thought it'd been more of a violent move down. Just announced. Is CNBC that slow on their app? Well, congratulations anybody that took that short. Trump raises tariffs on China to 104%. Effective midnight. All right. White House announced. Thank you. Thank you for the news hot off the press. We have 6.5 minutes to get 3 more likes. So if you want us to go beyond the 2-hour mark, why did I say us? I do not have a mouse in my pocket. If you want me to go beyond the 2-hour mark, we need 3 more likes. Oh boy, the overnight low. Do we actually get down to the overnight low? That would, I think Steffe is actually going to get their, whatever it was, 600 points they were looking for. It seems within the realm of possibility now. Like I was saying earlier, there may not be long stop losses out there, but if there's Trump tweets out there of more tariffs, well, down we go. Down we go. Now the thing, not to get too geeky on everybody, but in my opinion, a number you may want to watch. Let's bring it up here. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be on CNBC. But just we're going to go down the economics rabbit hole a little bit. But everybody needs to click on bonds. And then, in my mind, a very revealing indicator out there is what happens with the 10-year bond. When recessions, when bad things all show up, bonds should go down. Bonds should go up, yields go down, and all that. And when these yields go down, then that's where at least you're getting lower mortgage payments. You're getting all that sort of stuff. And this had dropped down below 4%, which it's been a long time since it was down below 4% when all the tariff stuff started to show up. And yet here all the tariff stuff is still showing up, yet this is now creeping back up. If things remain like they are now and it's just more bearishness, more tariffs, and the market keeps dropping, yet this continues to go up, because I've seen the theory out there, which I disagree with. Well, Trump's doing this because he wants to lower this price so that way, the debt's cheaper and mortgages are cheaper. It's like, okay, I'm not quite sure that's why he's crashing the market. But even if I concede that is why he's crashing the market, it's not working because this is going back up. So the 10-year bond yield, in my opinion, to get a little geeky economics, I know usually I'm just using charts, but that's more so just from a general economy standpoint. Keep an eye on the 10-year yield. Recessions and all that stuff usually is when that stuff crashes. Interest rates go down. Think back to COVID, right? When everybody was getting those dirt cheap mortgages. Well, we're having a crash right now, and that thing did go down a little bit, and now it's starting to go back up. Maybe it's just a dead cat bounce on the yields, and they'll keep dropping, but as of right now, they're going back up. I don't know who that is, Annie, but that's cool. Kingdom of Kits. $2,500 off the Bear Pennant. Good job. Hey, Mike. Right now, kind of just the waiting game because, I'm definitely not getting short down around here. That seems like a little bit too much of a chase. Maybe if we can get consolidation. Current market isn't moving on tariffs. It's moving on tariff news. Let me think through that. Current market isn't moving on tariffs. It's moving on tariff news. Okay, I'm not even sure I'm willing to concede that there is a difference. I'm definitely not willing to concede there's a big difference. It's not moving on tariffs. It's moving on tariff news. I don't know. We'll have to let some people chime in. Like I said, maybe there's a difference, but I'm right now it doesn't seem like there's a difference. Tariff talk is tariff talk. But so maybe that's the difference. But a big difference? I don't know. I think I'd certainly push back on being a big difference, but I don't know. Maybe some people have other opinions in the chat box. But to me, that tariffs are tariffs. That's what's driving the market down. Whether it's tariff policy or tariff new tariffs, it's all tariffs. Companies still have to choose to absorb the cost or pass it on to the customer. Okay, well, if they choose to pass it on to the customer, we all have higher prices. If they choose to absorb the cost, bye-bye stock prices, because investors, they don't like those shrinking profit margins. A lot of people in the country have 401ks. A lot of people are in stocks. So, either way seems kind of rough. So you're getting hit either way. Now, I suppose the people that don't have any investments at all, I guess they don't. They're hoping that those companies absorb the price. But I do know the statistics. I know a lot of old people. I know my parents. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, I have 401ks. I have stuff in the stock market. So again, I'm not sure that's really solving anything there, Brian. What brokerage do you use? Adan, tariffs equal money maker. I guess for who? Please don't say the government. I'd prefer the government not get money because the government's not very good with our money. Now, if tariffs were like literally everybody's getting checks in the mail, like here's 1,000, here's 1,000. All right, I'm a little bit open to it. But I think what you're saying, Mike, is, for a futures trader. Agreed. Assuming you have a strategy. Yes. It is creating some good movement here. That is true. But what was I going to say? Aiden. Aiden, are you still here? Because I've had this recently where people ask questions and then I answer them and then like the people are gone. So if you're still here, I'm happy to kind of go walk you through all that of what I'm doing. But I've started to learn that it's a weird phenomenon on live streams. People will show up, comment, ask questions, and then I like address them immediately, or I ask for some like interaction, and then it's just like silence. So I want to make sure that that's not the case here. I am more than happy to answer it, but let me first make sure that you're still here. So if you're here, just type here. Or unless there's somebody else that, yeah, what broker are you using? If there's somebody else that has the same question, then just type, I don't know, same. And then that'll answer it. Uh-oh, he must be saying, just kidding about the tariffs. Just kidding. Just kidding. See what I mean? Aiden. Just they're not here. Oh, there he is. Okay, he is still here. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm day trading futures, but this is a two-part thing in terms of kind of the platform and the broker. So what I'm doing is I'm using a prop firm, and the prop firm I'm using is Take Profit Trader. There's a message pinned at the top. If you click on that, that'll take you to the prop firm that I'm using. And that'll also give you the current promotion, and it's a way to support the channel and the live stream. But the way that works is you'll pick what sort of purchasing power you want, so you can get $25,000 purchasing power up to $150,000. After you choose that, during the checkout process, they're going to ask you, well, what platform do you want to use? The one that you see is Tradeovate. You have choices for other ones, but per your question, the one that I select is Tradeovate. That's what you see here on the screen. But the nice thing here about with the prop firm model is you don't need to go create a separate Tradeovate account. You don't need to go through the sign-up process there and go through that whole massive headache and hassle. Take Profit Trader, the prop firm, they will create the account for you, and then they'll email you the login and password information. So, but that is what I'm using, is Take Profit Trader as my prop firm, and then choosing Tradeovate on the checkout. I'm looking to get short on that counter. On this counter, I'm assuming, I've never heard that terminology used, but I'm assuming that the bounce upwards, you're looking to get short there. Oh, nice. We're at 106. Very good. Let's get this up over 110, though. So if you have not hit that like button, and if you want the party to continue, just make sure you hit that like button. Short 11 on that pop. So you're going to short, or you already were short? If you're already short, it's like, okay. Thanks. I'm using trading. Oh, no. I'm used to trading options on single stocks. Looking into futures now. Oh, please don't do that anymore, Aiden. Like, okay, to be fair, are you saying, when you say trading, do you mean day trading or swing trading? Come on, Shane. Tell what you're going to do before it happens. None of this hindsight stuff. Ain't nobody got time for hindsight stuff. Where's your stop at? Where's your target at? Let's at least give us that, Shane. Come on, man. Mainly day. Okay, yeah. Aiden, then it's really a no-brainer for a couple reasons. Number one, I guess I don't know how much money you have, but if you have less than $25,000, then you get stuck under that pattern day trading rule. And that's one. But the biggest for the options day trading is I'm sure you know that when prices go sideways, that's very annoying because of theta and how your position drops, because theta is eroding the value of your contract, and there is zero theta in futures. And I don't think I finished up my pattern day trading point. But in the world of futures, there's zero pattern day trading rule. You can show up and day trade as much as you want. So you can day trade as much as you want. There is no theta. And then just from a risk standpoint, which is part of my kind of overall argument, your risk is so minimal because worst case, you get stuck in some sort of crazy move, and we'll just look at the bare minimum. Some sort of crazy move, yeah, you may lose your account, because if you do lose more than 1,500, you'll lose your account. But if a loss of 1,500, is that actually 1,500 of your money? It's not. It would have just be a loss of the account, which means the cost of the account, which is 105. So all in terms of your risk, 105. I think that's a pretty good way to manage risk and a pretty smart way to manage risk. So, whereas options, you're trading with all your money. So if something squirrely happens, or if you go on tilt, you start revenge trading, or you just get caught in a crazy move, I mean, that's all your money that is now gone. I'm saying from our perspective, Shane, put yourself in my shoes and everybody else in the chat room shoes. Like when you're like, I got in at that level. It's like, oh, I mean, but did you? It's better. Like if you were to, okay, stop 870. I don't trade targets. I trade on strong. Okay. Well, 870. At least we have that now. So we know that if it goes up for 870, then Shane will be out. But yes, it's a little bit more. I find there's a little more spice to it, Shane, right? We want some spice. There's more spice if you're like, I'm going to get in at this level before it gets to that level. And my stop is going to be here. And it's like, okay, cool. Then we can see how it plays out. But I'm partially giving you a hard time because I do fully understand it sometimes happen very quick. So partially giving you a hard time, but partially, yeah, there's some truth to it. It just, it comes across better. And I'm not saying you're one of these people, Shane, but we've had some people show up and they talk a big gain, but everything just happens to be in hindsight. Theta sucks. Yeah, I feel like that gets in my way sometimes of my setups. Yeah, exactly. Well, you don't have to worry about any of that, Aiden. Let me put it this way. We've had several options traders now, been live streaming now for a couple months, but several options traders have come by and been like, wow, futures through the prop firm are so much better. Futures are so much better. We might even have some of those people in here. I don't know that. But yeah, if anybody has day traded options before and now you day trade futures, let Aiden know. Like, do you enjoy futures better? I have a sneaky suspicion that many of you are being like, yep. If not many, maybe even all of you. I think we can get rid of that. So I'm a little curious on this one right here. This is pretty smooth. That's a pretty smooth trend line right there. Is it shortable? Is the question. I have tried multiple tests, and when using Tradeovate, how do I choose which one to use? I'm not sure what that's in regard to, Joseph. How to choose which one to use. Which one of what to use? Do you have hotkeys? I do not have hotkeys. Well, I don't know. Do you consider these hotkeys? If no, then no, I don't have hotkeys. But I'm pretty sure you're not considering those hotkeys. Used to trade options and stocks. 10 out of 10 recommend prop futures. There we go. Thank you, Relax. Oh, yeah, it's all a matter. You'll get, some people will say 25K is better. Other people will say 50K is better. Other people are like, wait, why not go to the 150K? In some ways, I think the 150K is better, and here's why. Because we're just going to assume that you blow up an account, which, by the way, that's part of the game. It doesn't make you a bad trader. It doesn't mean your strategy is terrible. It's part of the game. Part of the prop firm is you blow up accounts because when you blow up, your account or your risk is very minimal, because blowing up an account here, in all actuality, you lost $105. But what's interesting about Take Profit Trader, which is who I'm showing you here, is you blow up an account, they'll take it away from you, but you can always get another account. You can always try again. But the quote-unquote try again price is $100. So under the premise that you're going to blow up the account, if you were to get the $150,000 purchasing power, yeah, it costs you more here. But again, under the premise you blow up the account, well, the person that blows up the account for 25 at the 25, yeah, they can try again, but now they're paying $100 for, well, $25,000 in purchasing power. Whereas the $150,000 person is paying $100 because it's $100 no matter what. $100 for any size account is the $100. So then you're paying $100 for same 100, but you're getting now $150K in power. So I don't know. I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm just saying within the way Take Profit Trader is structured, it's an interesting dynamic because, yes, odds are you're going to blow up accounts along the way. So when it comes back to the quote-unquote try again price, that try again price is the same for all accounts, $100. So do you want that $100 to get you $25,000 in purchasing power or $150 in buying power? Again, I'm not saying that's right away, just something to think about. Ugh. Well, anybody that took that trend line break, well done. Why? How are we stuck at 100? Can somebody hit the like button? Now I'm paranoid. Did the like button just freeze up on us? I've been asking for likes, and it has been stuck at 106. Like, I'm to the point now where I think the like button, I guess it's not broken. Again, if you are enjoying, hit that like button. That communicates to me if we want to keep the party going or not. Let's go. Well, if anybody did take that trendline break, well done. Gotta go. I will look into it and give it a try. Cool, Aiden. And if you want to support the channel and get the promotion, make sure you use the link that's pinned up in the comment at the top. Shane, stop is at break even. Good job, Shane. I know I have no credibility because it's all hindsight trading now, but yes, I would have seriously considered taking that break to the downside. But again, I am well aware, and it's a more than fair point that, of course, you say all that when you have hindsight in your favor. Totally fair. Totally fair. Not going to push back against that. But the downtrend continues. If you're still here, Brian, so what do you think is going to be less harmful? Do you think companies should absorb the cost so that they don't have to raise prices? Or do you think that does more harm? Because if a company's absorb the cost, that means their margins go down. And when companies' margins go down, investors don't like that, and hedge funds don't like that. And then they start to sell those stocks, and then those stocks go down, and then people's retirements go down, and 401ks go down. So I don't know. What do you think's the more evil or the more impactful, but lesser of two evils, if you will? Oh boy. So Michael, what's are you a bot? Or are you real, Michael Anthony? That seems like a very botish point. It seems like you're just going from live stream to live stream, dropping that. So are you here, Michael, or are you gonna gotta be a bot? Gotta be a bot. That is so random. That's like a run by spamming right there. Are you a run by spammer, Michael Anthony? And I'm probably talking to a bot right now. Relax. 500 left to pass my 50K. 1 day left. Good job. And you're done for the day. All right, well, take care. Relax. Have a good one. Good morning, Jaron. Good morning. Now, what I'm very curious about this trend line, which I could see it coming into play at some point, is the classic back test and go. At some point, do we get a bit of a back or a bounce where it comes up here and retests this and comes back down? It's valid. Of course, not guaranteed, but I think that's a more than valid scenario of what could play out. But right now, I mean, I guess you can get this seems like too much of a chase, but maybe this thing is just going to keep on dropping. If anything, very interesting potential support zone down here. Orange line is a close from yesterday, and then the pink line right there is the overnight low, so I could see it coming down there and getting some sort of bounce. Now, when I say bounce, I don't mean full-blown reversal, but enough to potentially get some sort of scalp. I got to get off the MNQ before I do that again. All right. Okay, I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back. right. So we'll see if we can get... I don't know. Kind of in no man's land right now as far as I'm concerned. Do we get the bounce in a back test, or is this thing going to just break down here, and do we get a bounce off of that area? I mean, anything can happen. I find it hard to believe that it would come down here and then just keep on moving like those things don't exist. Problem, or, you know, the question really becomes, does it come down here and give you enough of a bounce to try to scalp off there or not? No guarantees, though. Maybe it comes down here and just like a warm knife through butter, doesn't care about it at all. That's always possible, but in my mind, it's hard to believe that the price is going to act like it doesn't even, you know, care about those levels. Yeah, as I thought, Michael is just a drive-by spammer, so we're going to delete that out of there. That's just, what does that have to do with anything? All right. Very good. Looking good on the likes. Up over, the goal is 120, so I think we'll be able to hit that. And I'll go beyond the 2.5 hour mark if we can get up to the goal. So we have about 13 minutes to get 7 more likes, because that was the goal from the get-go. So if you have not hit that like button, make sure you do that. Let's get this up to 120, and I'll keep the party going. Shannon Leday just joined. Good morning. Is this live beginner friendly? I would like to think so. I guess I don't know how you define beginner friendly, but I try to explain things so everybody understands. But again, is it beginner friendly? I don't know. I hope so. I hope you think that, but I guess, let me put it this way. It's my goal that it's beginner friendly. It's my goal that it's also advanced trader friendly. Whether or not I'm good at accomplishing that goal, I guess you'll have to be the judge of that. But it's good to have you. Thank you for joining. Took a $600 hit on the long or short side. Had to have been on the short side. Or I guess I don't know where. Where did you didn't get short down here, did you? All right. That fluctuation throws me off so bad. Okay, this is quite interesting because look at this. If it were to come straight up here, not only do you have the trend line, you also have the 21 EMA, basically at the same value. So I'm willing to take that on the micros. There we go. Got an order up there if it does want to make a move. No worries. I just finished your 4-day class. I think you mean probably 4-part class yesterday in 1 day. I paper trade and have been profitable, but still have lots to learn. Cool. Well, thank you, Shannon. Hopefully you found that class helpful. I'll turn that into a quick plug. If you are new to futures and don't really know how they work or anything like that, I do offer, let's see, a free class. Right there. Throw it in the chat room. So again, for people that are like, man, this future stuff looks awesome, but like I don't know about futures, there you go. Like I said, just scroll down and then class 1 is right here. So now the 21 EMA has actually moved a little bit down below that trend line for the back test, but still this general area. If it wants to pop up back up here, I'd be interested. So we'll see. Uh-oh. We got it. We still need 5 more likes. We need this up to 220, or excuse me, 120. If you have not hit that like button and you want the party to continue, and back down it goes. So I will cancel that order out. Is that the short right there? Nah. That seems too sketchy for me. Wow. Is Steffe still here? You are now about 60 points away from your profit target getting hit. Steffe was here like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago saying, no, I'm looking for a red day. So I'm not going to get out until it's a red day. And this is when the market was still up like 500 points. So you're getting close, Steph. I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, looking good, looking good. This thing just continues to keep on bleeding, it seems. What's the daily look like? And just even the QQQ. Are we looking at a... What's the daily? Oh, yeah. So had the gap up, and it's now just dropping. All right, so that's the Qs on the day. I'm here. All right, Steffi. Well, you're getting close. Or are you looking for it to go red? Are you wanting more than these points here? Are you selling when? Are you getting out when that hits 0? Lunch is on Steffi. I'm going to throw an order to buy down there. Just 3. Nothing big. Like I said, I'd be shocked if the price came down here and didn't acknowledge any of that at all. What do you mean you're out? It hasn't gone to red yet. You can hold for 500 points, but you can't hold for another 30 points? What are you talking about? That makes no sense. You're so close. Just follow through with your thesis. That makes 0 sense. To the point where I don't even know if I believe you. So let me get this right. You're willing to hold for like 600 points. But like when you only need 20 more points, you're like, nope, I'm out. How can you not hold for 20 more points when you held for like 600 points? Are you sure? Are you pulling our leg? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense there. All right, it's trying to come down. Come down a little bit more. And I'm willing to build again. I'm starting with 3 micros. Let me double check. Okay, I'm on micros. And if this thing wants to keep coming down, I want to add some more because this is, like I said, I find it hard to believe that even if it cuts down through here, that it won't at least come back up here and back test it. But if it wants to fill me and give me a quick scalp, I'll take that. Well, I just assumed that you would be getting out because you said that you thought it would be a red day. So I figured as soon as all the green disappeared, you'd be like, all right, there it is, red day. That was my thought. I'm out. Which would, again, you were saying all this when we were like 500 points higher, which is just what is not computing with me. You can wait for 500 points, but you can't wait for another 20. Huh? We can. Why do you got to do that right now while I'm trying to wait for a trade? So you're going to have to wait a little bit here. But yeah, I'll take a look at NVIDIA. Thank you for the super chat. Here we go. Okay, let's see. It basically bounced right off of the orange line. I was trying to play in between them, and I moved it down just a little bit. So let's see here. It's got to just come down a little bit. How am I not filled? How did I not get filled there? All right, well, let's come down a little bit more now. Just look for a bit of a fake break of it. That was wild. What strategy am I using? I'm using technical analysis. I'm using candlestick trading. Given you're a beginner, that's I think what you're asking, because I can't imagine you knowing anything else. Yes, I am. This is called technical trading, and to be a little bit more specific, candlestick technical trading. And it bounces back up. Ugh. Yeah, it never. How did it not fill me? I was right there at that level. It clearly did not go down. I must have missed it by a few ticks. Wild. In hindsight, yeah, I should have just kept my order in the middle and I would have for sure have been filled. I got a little greedy, I guess, and thought, I bet I can get even a slightly better entry point. And that decision to try to get a slightly better entry point just cost me a very nice little bounce right there. All right, what do you want? The NV. My account for live start the new video. My account for live start the new video. I'm not sure what you mean by that. All right, we have 3 minutes to get at least one more like, because the goal today was 120, and if I'm going to go beyond and keep the party going, we need at least one more like to get us up to the goal. Well, 2 more likes. Let's get it at least to 121 to factor in for the JJ effect. There's 120. Can we get one more? All right, let's, you wanted the NVDA daily. All right. I should note I'm doing this because there is, if you want a request that could be a stock, future, Forex, crypto, $5 super chats, do make it happen. Daily. So it was good that I got above that resistance area right there. But yeah, really from the daily standpoint, in my opinion, it's all about 91.80 because in theory, the price could still come down quite a bit. The price could, and I'm not saying this will occur, but the price could come down to that area. And as long as it behaves something like that and then, just maintains that area, you can still, assuming you're bullish, but from the bullish side of things, you can still make the argument that there is a set of lows right here. And then if you factor in the previous set of lows, and then if you envision those as stair steps, you could make the argument, yeah, it's pulled back. Now, let me put it this way. If you're a day trader and you bought right here, you probably don't care much about what I'm talking about right now. But you did ask about the daily time frame. So I'm assuming you care about more than just some sort of like scalper that bought right there. But if this is what happens, the price stays above that 91.80, then at least you can make the argument, if you envision those as stair steps, that there are still stair steps making progress in the other direction. Whereas on the flip side of things, if the price comes down here and then breaks down below it, now all of a sudden you have this argument being thrown against the bulls, and that is, wow, the price is officially now gone essentially right back to where it started. And that's basically what, dead cats do, right? Pump and dumps, whatever sort of dramatic action, but price movements that make great moves and then go right back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. So in my mind, 91.80, very, very important for that reason. If there is going to be any sort of attempted movement back upwards, it appears now that this area, I'm not sure if it hit it exactly, but right there, what is that? Right, yeah, about 105.75. So 105.75, you can see was a resistance right there, which makes sense. It was, generally speaking, an area of support and an area of support. And when areas of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance. So acted as resistance there. And then once again today, essentially right where the price got rejected back down. So 105.75, I would definitely call the very, very critical area to watch from the resistance standpoint. But if this pullback does continue, there's still actually quite a bit of room for this thing to pull back, where you can, before you can even really make the argument that the price has gone, quote unquote, back to where it started. But, I'm defining the back to where it started area is down below 91.80. So hopefully that helps. Thank you for the super chat. So, yeah, okay. I don't know what to make some. My account for live, start the new video. That's what I mean. This is what it still has me very confused about live streaming. I get comments like that. I ask about them. Oh, that might be a bot. Even looking at, yeah, okay, I'm deleting that out. That looks like a bot for sure. Like the logo. Maybe that'll just be the new policy. Like, I'll give you a moment to reply to prove that, like, you're not a bot. And if there's nothing, gone. All right, could be a back test up here. Put an order up to that area. trendline back test and the 21 EMA. We'll see if we can get. Do you trade gold or platinum futures? Nope, I stick with the NQ and MNQ. We'll see if it wants to come up to that area. I mean, right off that area, the power of charts. None of this was guaranteed to happen. I want to reiterate that. But as those of you that were here, you heard me say several times, I find it hard to believe that the price is going to act like this area does not behave or exist. And it definitely did act like it existed. Came down here and boop. Nice bounce off it. Now, whether or not it rolls back down is another question, but it did acknowledge it, which, and this right here is given plenty. And this was a 100-point bounce. Plenty of opportunity to pull into profits. Got my 600 back plus 100. Good job. I'm trying to come up here. And then back down it went. So that was the initial move that I was looking to see. All right, well, we'll make this a 3-hour stream if within, so we'll go another 13 minutes. So let's see if we can get this up to 135 likes. So 9 more likes. I think we can get 9 likes in the next basically 13 minutes, and then we'll push up. That'll push us into 3-hour territory. I might have to put on my my blue blocker sunglasses or whatever the rays are for my 4K monitors. Because I guess I'm getting old, and it's starting to wear on me where it hurts. It gives me headaches, and I'm starting to feel it. So these are not like prescription glasses. They're just what are those things called? What's ultraviolet? Like what's that called? Blue rays or something? Who knows what I'm talking about? Before I put these things on, has anybody ever heard of these before? That block the that's finally affected me after like 40 years, or not 40 years, but 20 years, 25 years of staring at screens. Yeah, like gaming glasses, I guess. I'm gonna put these on. There we go. Do I look? People probably listen to me even more now because now I look really smart. Oh, is that reflection going to be annoying though for you as a viewer? I could see that being obnoxious. I don't know. Is that rough? And as it's reflecting, is that rough? Let's see. How does that look? I don't know. Is it reflection on the glasses? Blue light. Thank you. Thank you. Blue light. Is that distracting, the reflection? Or maybe most people aren't even looking at me. I don't know. I guess I'm being like very I don't know what the word is. Very like arrogant, like everybody's just staring at me the whole time. They don't care what's going on at the market. They're just staring at me. It's really a question, and I'm contemplating right now. Do you take is this a double bottom? Does the price come down here and then bounce again? Again, I don't know if it reverses all the way back up, but if you get another bounce, could this be a double bottom? We have bottom 1 right there. Do we get bottom 2? So research has shown that these do not prevent the blue light. They just help you from not squinting. Okay, well, I guess then what has given me headaches in the past is the squinting. All I know is that these have helped me tremendously. Whether it's helped me against the blue light or helped me against the squinting, they have helped. So if you are in the market if you're thinking like, man, why do I get headaches or why does that happen from staring at the screen? Or it might be because you're just staring at screens for too long. All right, do we get the double bottom? I'll throw my hat in a ring. Either a quick little scalp or I can look to try to... Once again... hovering around that area. Well, those were the movements I was wanting. The more it hesitates, goes on there and does not fill me, then I have to worry about, is that going to be one of those situations where when it does fill me, is that where it flows? So you don't want to wait till the bottom of the wedge. Nope. Not only should I not have waited, I should have been even more aggressive than what I was. Man, right off of that orange line again. Yesterday's close. I mean, this thing has got to get somewhat of a... Yeah, I'm not shorting any more bounces back up because... Like, how many of these are going to actually fail? So since the big move right there that came down, which I'd say this is kind of what set up a new structure for the chart. So since the new structure started, there is one beautiful dead cat, another beautiful dead cat, another beautiful dead cat, another beautiful dead cat. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, is it really going to give a fifth straight setup? I mean, maybe, but... Or is the fifth one the one that it just goes, nope, we're going to go a little strength. So, yeah. I'm not interested in shorting any sort of bounce back upwards. I mean, again, maybe it gives us the fifth straight false bounce, but you got to think one of these bounces is not necessarily a reversal, but a big enough bounce to hit some shorts that are trying to think and do the same thing. Not everyone looks like that. Good. Sup Mania. How much does 1 point of MNQ get as opposed to 1 point of NQ? So it's a magnitude of 10. So 1 NQ is $20. 1 MNQ is $2. Same with commissions. 1 MNQ is 25 cents to buy and then 25 cents to sell. With the NQ, it's $2.50 to buy, $2.50 to sell. Good question. Okay, got it. About 7 minutes to get 7 likes at this point. So can we get this up to 135 likes? 7 minutes for 7 likes. I think we can do it. You're welcome. Thank you for the question. And this is also the same reason why I would not trust shorting that trend line right there. Like, is it really going to be just another beautiful breakdown? I don't know. You got to think one of these has got a false breakdown in them, especially after so many that have worked out beautifully. Again, not guaranteed. Maybe these just keep working and working and working. But I mean, they're at some point. And like I said, especially from the dead cat bounce, we counted that up. There's already been 4 of them. Surely one of these, and maybe this is it, but I mean, it could potentially do 5 in a row. But 5 in a row, in my opinion, is asking quite a bit from the market. Like, hey, market, can you give me 5 in a row of basically the same exact structure? Sure. We'll do 5 in a row. Again, the structure being bounce up, down, bounce up, down, bounce up, down, bounce up. I mean, is this thing really going to go down again? So how many downs have we had? We have 1 down, 2 downs, 3 downs, kind of 4 downs, but is this going to turn into another whole leg? So that's why I am, if anything, I am bullish right now because I think it's been so bearish that there's got to be some sort of, even if it's just a temporary bounce. So even in something like this where it goes here and gets rejected at the 50 period and then comes down, well, that's going to be enough to knock out quite a few shorts if they're thinking, okay, I'm going to, because you know a lot of watching the 21 EMA, beautiful moving average. But I could see it. Let me put it this way. I think if this thing bounces, it's getting at least up through the 21 EMA. Which would, I would think, knock out a bunch of shorts because they're probably looking at this and putting their stops up around that area. There's the descending trend line. It's been respecting it for a while. Yeah, it has. And maybe it continues to respect it. But again, it goes back to the whole idea of usually the market's not willing to give you 5 of the same setup in a row over and over again, 5 times in a row, let alone 4 times in a row. So like I said, it's going. Maybe I'll look foolish, but there's no way I'm touching this from the short side. If anything, I'm getting long. But Down we go. I'm not sure on that one. I'm not sure on that one. I can see a lot of people having that attitude narrow, and then boop. We'll see, though. We'll see. What is that? 80? I'll try for a long down there. This is based on the 5-minute pivot point. But right now it does seem like it wants to give more bearishness. We'll see, though. Again, the shorts, I would agree. If you're a scalper and you took a short, yeah, you got plenty of wiggle room. But for the shorts that maybe want more, I'm not quite sure they got to where they wanted to necessarily go, or, you know, where it makes sense for them yet relative to what was being risked. But obviously they have their own trade plans. Uh-oh, narrow. Uh-oh, narrow. Uh-oh, narrow's getting nervous. Then again, we don't know if narrow's in or not. They might have just been commentating from the sidelines. We'll see. Oh, nice. Goal hit. Very good. This will be a 3-hour stream. I'd love to get this up to 150. So if we can make a push up to 150, that would be, I'd consider this a good solid day. 150 likes. So 15 more likes in the next 20 minutes would be really solid. And we went right on the day. Steffe. Props for credit where credit's due. Steffe had the thesis, the theory, when we were up 500 points or something like that. I think we're going to have a red day. I asked why they thought that, and they were not able to give me a reason, but hey, they were right. All right, I've given this thing plenty of opportunity. Oh, brother. AREB. Garbage. Why are you wasting your time with stocks? Do you swing trade? No. All right, I think this Curry Belcher person is, I don't even know if they're real. I think they're a bot. They're just going around talking about AREB because they've been here before and they say that. But AREB. Somebody wasting their time with stocks. AREB. What? What are you giving me an AREB thumbs up for? This thing is garbage. Like, what? So here's an example of exactly why. Now, I understand why people do this. Are like, well, I don't have a whole lot of money, so therefore I got to trade this price range of stocks because they're more volatile and all that. I understand that argument. But right now it is 131. You're a bot, brother. Oh, wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. So right now, we're at, what time is it? 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're looking at the 2-minute time frame, okay? So, and this is the futures. We've been watching this action, nice and smooth, good movements, all that stuff. And then you have people like Curry that's like, well, I'm going to go trade AREB. It's like, okay, let's go look at the AREB chart. And let's look at the 2-minute so we can compare apples to apples. And this is why I say if you're day trading stocks, it is a waste of time. It's taking on too much risk. The day trading stocks is just absolute garbage compared to Pam's plant. So, oh, yeah. Kerry's the guy that does not think, oh, yeah. Oh, I remember Kerry, yeah. That's the sheep. Same guy posting next day stocks to buy. So Kerry is so new that Kerry seems to believe that it is possible to talk about stocks before they move. But if you talk about stocks after you move, then like you don't know what you're doing. So Kerry, again, we all start there. We all believe in like holy grails, magic systems, stuff like that. So that's the stage Kerry is in. Will you talk about stocks after they move? As opposed to what? Am I supposed to talk about stocks before they explode? Like, do you think that's actually possible? Now, I suppose it's possible if you have inside information, But like, I don't have inside information. But Carrie believes that supposedly that is supposed to be a thing. So let's go to the 2-minute time frame. Where's 2 minute? Okay, here we go. So let's look at the 2 minute here. And you're thinking, well, geez, Clay, that chart looks a little different. Like, what's up with that? And what's up with that? Yeah, that, and look at what is that? Wait, what? Yeah, no, exactly. Again, 2 minute. We're on the 2 minute time frame. And then let's hop back over to futures. And look how smooth this is. You don't see any candles that are like this. Smooth, nice action. So why people want to go and day trade stocks like that, I have no idea. But some people just like to be inefficient with their time, I suppose. Not to mention Carrie and other people. They have all their money in. Like if AREB collapses, then that's all their, like the collapse. That's all, they're trapped. That's all their money. That's gone. Whereas with prop firms, it's not. Carrie, I get it. I used to be there too. I get it. You're a degenerate gambler. You need a quick buck. I think you were the guy begging me, like, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this? Was that you? Somebody recently was like, I need your thoughts. I need your thoughts. It's like, chill out. How do you know I'm using my money? Because you're doing stocks. And that you have to use your money for stocks. It's very simple to know that you're using money, or that you're using your own money. All right, can we get I mean, this thing doesn't even want to bounce anymore. Again, next bounce though, I'm not interested in trying to take that short at all. Because is it really going to give us another dead cat? I guess it could, but so we got another valid trendline break. I mean, it broke, it came down. I mean, just one after another after another. It's quite impressive. All right, here we go. I don't trust this bounce at all. Like I said, I thought the next bounce would push up through the 21 EMA, so I could still be wrong here. But I think this push here is, at some point going to push up through that level, because you got shorts saying, okay, here comes another dead cat. It hasn't violated that 21. Let's get a stop up there. All right, so right off of it. Oh, come on now. Don't make me look stupid. Push up through there. Push up through there. Come on now. $35 gambler. Okay, so you own like 3 shares of it. Good. I'm glad that you're only risking $35 on a stock like AREB. That's good. That brings other questions to my mind about, I think maybe there might be other things in your personal finances that you need to be focused on at this point if you're only able to put $35 into a stock. But I'm glad it's only $35. But it may be worth tackling some other things within your personal finances. Oh no, you better get back up above there. Is this thing, listen to me. The market makers heard me. Like, oh yeah? Yeah? Nope, we're going to get rejected right off that level. They heard me. Some of you in here are market makers. Can you give me advice on where to start if I'm starting from the beginning? I can. It may upset you, but you asked where I should start from the beginning. So if you would like structure to your education, if you would like to learn about things in a way that's going to make the most sense to you, because that's what I sell. I don't sell a magic system. I don't sell a holy grail. I sell structure. I sell a process of learning that's been developed since 2013 when I first started the site. So if that's what you're, again, not a holy grail, not a magic system, but a structure, a process of learning so that you don't feel overwhelmed and all that, then here you go. You can check out my training program right there. That's what I would recommend. No, you're a $35 gambler, brother. I got 15K in. Still. How? Okay, this 35. Where's $35 coming from, my friend? You're bragging about having $15,000 in a. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh no is right. But this is always a cycle. And I mean, think about it, James. You have to have compassion on these people because he is thinking logically. As a new person that doesn't know what they're doing, and they're up 21,000, even though it's with terrible habits, even though it's with blind luck, even though it's with zero skill, I mean, they are up a big amount of money. So there we go. All right. So it kind of toyed with me, but that's why, again, we can get into debate. Was this actually dead cat bounce rollover? Maybe, depending on the strategy. But like I said, I was not trusting anything short, trying to play dead cat bounces. But again, to be fair to those that maybe did take it, there might have been enough room in there. But again, James, like I said, oh, that's true, Brian. He said it wasn't even his money. But anyways, you have to be compassionate to people like Curry that are newbies. And I know that you're a newbie because I remember you from a couple weeks ago. You're like, tell me what to do. What can I get your thoughts? And you're like, because you had no idea what was going on. But think about it. He is acting logically. Right now, he is up. If we take him at face value, he's up quite a bit of money. And so in his mind, I made these choices. These choices have led me to be up this amount of money. He does not yet know that the market rewards bad behaviors. The market will reward degenerates from time to time, but eventually the market gets you. But to be fair to him, right now, he in his mind, which is logical, I made these decisions. These decisions have me up this amount of money. So anybody that goes against that and says, hey, you don't know what you're doing, what do you mean? I made decisions. I'm up that amount of money. You're a hater. You're a clown. You don't know what you're doing. You're jealous. All those things. So what would be illogical, though, is for him to be making all this money and then for him to be like, I don't think I'm doing things right. Like, the point is to make money. I'm making money. I don't think I'm doing things right. Right? That would be illogical for him to think that way. So as of right now, he is thinking logically. But that's why the market's hard, because it will reward bad behavior. It will make you think that your decisions are logical, were smart. But as anybody that's been here a long time, we know it's just a matter of time before he'll be crushed. He'll give back all those gains. I've been through so many cycles where people show up, they're cocky, they're arrogant, and I understand why. They're making money. Everybody else is the hater that tries to critique them because you're just jealous of me. But how many cycles have I been through? I mean, COVID was the most recent one, but then there was the marijuana stock cycle. There was, I don't know. There's been so many cycles where people show up and it goes through it. So I get it, Curry. To be fair to you and to give, like, you're thinking logically right now per the circumstances. But the problem is, just remember who tried to warn you. Just remember. I'll just leave it at that. Rotted 500 to learn. I'm not sure what rotted. What is RHT? I'm not sure what that means. If I get the course, I can 100% learn basics and beginning to understand. Yeah, La. That's what I mean by if you're looking for a logical sequence to learn and a process of learning, that's what you'll get, because it starts off assuming you don't know anything. Wow. You think 500 is a lot to learn? Have you? I mean, I don't know what country you're in, but if you're in the United States, go take a look at what it costs to go to a semester of community college and get back to me. Where you go to college to get a degree in something that caps your pay, called a salary, and then maybe you'll get a job in that field. Go look at, and I'm saying community college. I'm not even saying like non-community colleges. And then come back with me. I think maybe you'll take back your statement of, wow, 500, that's a lot. So yeah, there it is. Why did not trust this dead cat bounce here. Well, I get this bounce because, again, I could see like, no, it was a dead cat because it came up and came back down right here. But it did, which is true, but here is why. Ugh. I'm in the UK. Curry, I get it. Yes, you're asking for opinions because you don't know what you're doing. That's fine. I'm trying to tell you, you don't know what you're doing. But when I say that, then you start making fun of me and call me a $35 gambler, whatever that means. And that's okay. I get it. I understand why you think you're hot stuff. I get it. I was there. And you are behaving rationally. You have made decisions, and we are trying to tell you they are poor decisions, but the market will reward poor decisions from time to time. But in your mind, because you're a newbie, that's a disconnect because your decisions have led to money. So how can decisions that lead to money be poor decisions? So you're behaving rationally. You're just going to have to go through the cycle that most people go through. Again, the market rewards bad habits. The market rewards poor decisions. And that's why my saying has always been, always will be, trading has nothing to do about making money. A blind, drunk monkey can make money. Trading is what to do when you're wrong. In other words, risk management. Float, not cap. Sorry, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, no, I know what you mean, James. Yeah, a lot of people start off there because they think, well, I don't have a lot of money, so I need and slow, low cap stocks move. But that's again Pam's plant. Part of the prop firm power is low capital required, and these things do move as we've been watching. They move, and again, you could get, for those of you that are maybe in that thought process, well, I have to do low cap stocks. Well, no, you could get a prop firm and do futures trading, which is way better than stocks anyways. And, you could get $25,000 of purchasing power for 105. So if you're listening, part of the live or, just part of the stream, and you're kind of in that model, I have to do penny stocks or I have to do low float, small caps, or I got to do that. No, you don't. You don't have to do that. There is a way, way better way known as Pam's plant. No pattern day trading rule with futures. It's just not even close. It's not even close, and it's an undefeated idea. Nobody has been able to tell me how it's a bad idea. All people have been able to do is attack me, but nobody attacks the idea. All right. So now I can see maybe this is where the dead cat nature comes into play because the 50 period is here. It is acting as resistance. This has been a bigger bounce. So that's what I was recalling or, meaning on the 5 minute. All these other bounces were beautiful, came up a little bit, rolled back over. But this one just came up so much that you got to think that knocked out most shorts that were trying to play the previous types of bounces. The idea is sound, no doubt. Yeah, no. I mean, it's an easy, like, man, Clay, you're really good at debating. You're really good at, defending. It's like, no, not really. It's just a legitimately good idea. So legitimately good ideas are easy to defend. So, I mean, maybe it makes me look like, whoa, man, that was a good defense. It's like, well, not really. It's just, it's weird how, good ideas that are genuinely good ideas, they just kind of argue for themselves. So that's why I like a good idea. A good idea takes care of itself. The idea makes it easy. You're okay. Yeah, exactly. I'm okay. That's even you being generous. That's very generous on your part. All right. Is this a buy on the pullback here, though? I don't know. It's a good question. Because now we do have basically a bull pennant that has formed. Now, it is in a downtrend. But if we use the 50 period as a top part of the pattern, if we use, kind of the 21A, EMA, and then you do that, and then we put our golf hole down here, we have the bull pennant pattern. Will it hold up? We'll see. Stephen Coate took my account up to neat retirement territory and back down to a fraction of what I started and back up to flush over the last 4 years. The drawdown makes you question everything. Gotcha. Curry, I really don't care. All you're doing is prove, you're reiterating my point right now. Yes, degenerates make money. Go back through the history of things. There was the pot stock. Was anybody around for the pot stock cycle? When was that, 2015? What was it? Was it Colorado was the first state to legalize it? And pot stocks were going crazy. Crazy. In fact, what was that? Oh, yeah. I think they're still around. So let me show you the pot. So this is what happened. So we'll go to so TLRY was a pot stock. So we're going to figure this out real quick. Yeah, when was it? Oh, really? It was only 2018? Anyways, all right. So this stock was, they've had reverse splits, but this was all coming. It basically went from $20 up to over $200. in the matter of a couple. I mean, look at this. In the matter of a couple weeks, boom. And along the way, you had, people like Curly in the chat room that, I mean, all they do is make money. They make money. They're showing up, throwing the emoji and look at all this money. And then it starts to come back down. Well, I'm going to buy the dip. And, oh, see, it came up. I'm going to buy the dip. Oh, yeah, see? Just always buy the dip. Oh, see, I told you. And then this happens. And then eventually, reality shows up and humbles them. And you can see here, from up over 200 down to $2 a share. So this always happens. This was the marijuana pot stock boom. Of course, there was COVID where you had a bunch of those stocks that went up and people got cocky that thought they knew what they were doing but didn't. So it's a cycle. And like I said, it happens. It'll always happen. It's just human nature. It's logic. But that's what happens. Yeah, no, and the market will do it. The only question in my mind is, will Curry have enough courage to come back after he gets smashed and be like, yeah, you guys were actually right. I gave back all the gains. Or I'm now stuck. I'm a bag holder. Probably not. I don't think I've ever met somebody that comes back. The people that they always come back as long as you're winning, but as soon as it goes poof, it's weird. They tend to go poof. They never show up and be like, yeah, you know what? You guys were right. I was wrong. That never happens. The market isn't humble. I'm assuming you're saying the market is not anything because the market is just the market. Now, I personally think the market has a sick sense of humor. I think that the market is very sadistic in the sense of it loves to make new people think they know what they're doing. It loves to build up confidence. It loves to build up emotions. It loves to build up all this stuff so that you start to put more and more money in. And then all of a sudden at that point is where it shows up and just crushes you. I think the market has a very sick sense of humor. It loves to build up false confidence so that it can crush it. What do you think of CMT syllabus? I don't know what CMT syllabus is. So, therefore, I cannot comment on it. I don't know. Again, probably going to be wrapping things up. Maybe I got a little bit more time in me here, but yeah, if we can get this up to 150 likes here in the next, I guess, few moments, I'll consider continuing to go, but it seems like we're a little bit petering out here. No, you don't, Curry. No, you don't. Just stop. I saw you freaking out and begging a couple weeks ago. Like, that was, like, the fact that I remember that was very bizarre. Like, you blowing up the comments on YouTube and then you showing up on the live stream. Hey, what do you think? What do you think? No, nobody that's had 5 years experience behaves like that. So with all due respect, sir, I don't believe that at all. No like from me. I would definitely not expect a like from you. Chartered market decision, never heard of it. Oh, I've heard of that. But I'm not cool, James. Stop assuming I'm cool. And I know what, like, the abbreviations stand for. Are you a CMT? Like, dude, I appreciate you thinking that I'm cool. But I'm not. I don't know what stuff like that is. So I've heard of that. But I've never looked at the syllabus or anything like that. But thank you again for assuming that I'm cool and assuming that I know what abbreviations stand for. I'm very curious to see if we can get a push up through the purple line there. Here we go. Anybody going to take this? Anybody buying the breakout? Anybody have confidence in it? Right now, right off of it. We do now have basically a set of lows here. The market pushed down. We have a set right there, and it's trying to push back up. So we are now starting to get some higher lows. should just ban Curry, but he's kind of like the court jester. He wants you to buy so his money can go up. And you have 5 years of experience. If you had 5 years of experience, like you would realize you would never make that statement because you know how absolutely ridiculous this is. You seemed oh my God. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm telling everybody to buy so that I can make money because I think that I'm able to influence the futures market. By telling the 90 people here right now, I'm able to influence the futures market. So like all of you buy, because if all of you buy, then you're going to have enough buying power to push the price up so that I can sell. That's exactly what's going on. Yup. I want you to buy so that my money can go up because I believe that I can influence the futures market with a chat room that has 89 people in it right now. Yes, you got me, Curry. Nailed me. Boom. Got it. 5 years of experience, and this person thinks that somehow a room with 89 people in it can influence a futures market. Oh, now you're moving the goalpost. Now I'm influencing losses. Huh, that's weird. Wait a second. That just made me sound like I don't have 5. He's influencing losses. Okay. Like I said, more. I mean, you're like a JJ, but you're kind of funny. This is good. Just ignore Curry. They sound like they have a superiority complex and seek validation from others. No, I agree, Mike, but I don't know. Sometimes while we're waiting to see if things are breaking out, it's fun to interact a little bit. Yeah, I know. Like I said, usually I would block, but this one's kind of funny. So and then this is always the great irony. So I've told Curry some things he does not like. Therefore, I'm now like all these things like I'm really bad. But literally 2 weeks ago, he was begging. He was like, and I'm not exaggerating. He was knocking down the door of the YouTube comments. He's showing up live streams. Hey, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? But I gave him the truth. Like, hey, you literally don't know what you're doing. Stop. And now all of a sudden, I went from somebody that he was banging down the door of, I need your opinion. I want your opinion. He went from that to all of a sudden, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, okay, let's just, Kerry, let me concede. I don't know what I'm talking about. And that you know that I don't know what I'm talking about. So why were you banging down the door of a guy that doesn't know what he's talking about? How does that make any sense? Or is it possible that your feelings are a little hurt that I just happen to tell you that I happen to be honest with you? Or is that maybe a possibility? Those are our two choices. I don't know what I'm talking about, yet for some strange reason, you started to bang down the door of a guy that you says don't know what he's talking about to get the opinion of the guy that doesn't know what he's talking about. That's one possibility. Or is it possible that you're banging down the door because you don't know what you're doing? You wanted some sort of feedback, and the guy that you're banging on the door is like, dude, you don't know what you're doing. Like, slow things down, and that hurt your feelings. Again, those are the two choices. I'll let people decide on kind of what those two possibilities are. Hey, Ed. Ed's here. Ed, I'm about to be leaving, though. You're showing up too late. Ed, Curry needs a friend. Be Curry's friend. Ticketing for jaywalking. I know, it is about time, Ed. What's Ed doing? Unbelievable. Well, we're at the purple line still. I'm trying to see if we can get some separation. Nobody likes the truth when it's not what they want to hear. Correct, sir. Correct. Which brings about the question, what is the compassionate thing to do? Is the compassionate thing to tell the person what they want to hear, or to tell the person what they need to hear, because what they need to hear is actually the truth? Oh. Ed was at the Amish store. Has anybody here ever been to Amish stores? The deals there are amazing. Amazing. Like, so amazing, my wife will not let me go alone because she's like, no, you're going to come back with like 80 boxes of cereal. Amish. If you live by an Amish store and you don't go there on a weekly basis, you're making poor life decisions. In fact, no, I'm going to tone that back. If you don't live by an Amish store, you're making poor life decisions. I'm gonna die on that hill. I'm gonna die on that hill. You're trying to make this about me when it's really about you and your loss. What loss are you talking about, Curry? I'm confused by the loss that you speak of. This is actually really interesting. I don't know. This is kind of whispering in my ear. A break right here. In fact, let's get this mapped out. That's whispering in my ear. We have basically a little miniature ascending triangle here that's forming. I don't know. You lose every day. Don't lie to these people. Okay. Yeah, Edo, it's a good day today. Paul, thank you so much, Clay. I have been following your YouTube for like 11 years. Dang, Paul, you've been around a while. You must hate my voice by this time. Good thing I'm so good looking, huh, Paul? It makes my voice a little bit easier to tolerate. Hey, Kelvin, good to see you. I wanted to wrap this up, but now we have this ascending triangle. Now I'm curious. We'll watch it together, see if we can get any sort of push of this little ascending triangle. Cool glasses. Yeah, thanks. I put them on halfway through. I was like, okay. I was starting to get the headache right around the 2.5 hour mark. And I'm like, I think the blue light's getting to me. But yeah, off camera, I'm always in these things. Yeah. Brian, that tariff news originally came out here. I think that was the tariff news. Somebody told us right when it happened. I can't remember their name. I think that's when it was announced. But yeah, that's what started off this new round of bleeding. Everybody that's a day trader will lose at least once a week if they're scalping. I know. I should have banned him a long time ago, but it's kind of funny. It helps with these situations where we're kind of just sitting around waiting. That 90-day wait news sent us in an uptrend. I don't even. I'm not even aware of a 90-day wait news. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I didn't hear anything about a 90-day wait news. I think we might. Oh, it was you. No, and I apologize if I mispronounced your name. You told us about the 104%. I was like, was that back here? Was that break there? I can't remember. I think that might have been that break. Is that when the 104% news came out? I know as soon as I end the live stream, it's probably gonna like ba-boom up through. But if it can ba-boom, it's fun to watch those on stream. But I don't. Okay, that's what I thought. And am I saying your name right? Is it not Nael? Nael? Nal? How do you pronounce your name? I was also doing some research. I don't know. Is this immoral of me? But I was doing research on like, just growing live streams, what helps. Yeah, likes help. But also chat box interaction. Like the more that's chatted, like that, I guess the algorithm likes that too. So when so the Currys and the JJs, I need to keep them around so I can use them to algorithm drivers. So we don't want to call people trolls. We got to call them algorithm drivers because they're very easy to get reactions out of, which drives the algorithm. But I don't know, that might be wrong of me. Then I'm simply using somebody else to drive the algorithm. I'm open to the idea that is maybe that's not very moral, or maybe there's an ethical question there. But yes, Clay, stop feeding the trolls. It's a business decision. The algo needs extra interaction. So yes, Curry, you are getting to me for sure, so please keep it up. I found that news came out at 1:54 p.m. At 1:54 p.m. No, it came out way sooner than that, Brian. That news came out way sooner than that. Because like I said, Niall, thank you. Niall was telling us, and I apologize in advance, Niall, if I see you, because I'll recognize the name because that's a cool name, but I don't promise that I'll remember how to pronounce it. Oh, whoa, we're up here. So again, it's holding. The ascending triangle holds strong. But yeah, no, I'm telling you, Brian, Niall told us way before then. Like, that was the news. It happened on X first. I'm glad you appreciate me. Oh, I do. Smurfs. We should all hit a circuit breaker. We should hit a circuit breaker soon. No, not anywhere close to a circuit breaker. I want to say circuit breakers are 7% up or down, and right now we are a whopping 0.18% down. So no, we're not close to a circuit breaker. Smurfs is a perfect term. It is. So there is the pattern, but we're very close to potentially. So this is the line in the sand. Like I said, I think I'm going to be heading out here, but even afterwards, if you're still looking for a potential trade, I don't know. Does it break out here, especially a higher volume break, send it up to the highs up there? Maybe. Again, no guarantees, but right now it's essentially going the other direction. All right, have a good one, Ed. I'm talking about days and weeks for that, though. Well, a circuit breaker only happens like within the context of a day. All right, that is pretty much done. All right, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it good. Let me get in my sales pitches here. If you are interested in this free webinar that I'm offering Thursday evening, where I talk about the tools I'm using, how I use them to build consistency and manage risk, check out that link that I just threw in the chat box. And there may or may not be a coupon code to get a yearly membership to my private community at a discounted rate as part of the sign-up sequence. Again, I'm not confirming or denying, but if you were to go through the sign-up sequence, there may or may not be something called a bribe, which is would offer you a discount. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. And if you're interested in supporting the channel and getting started with Pam's plant and future trading and all that, you can check out that link right there. And you can, like I said, support the channel in that way. So that is all I have. I think, let's check on that real quick. Oh yeah, down it goes. So thank you all for being here. Another 3-hour stream, but this was fun. Up J Guy, 1785 tick, bro. Huh? Up JG. I don't know what that means, but. All right. Everybody take care, and I will be back tomorrow at the very latest, 11 a.m. Eastern. Might be a little early, but I definitely won't be late. So appreciate you all being here. Take care, and as always, trade smart, be disciplined.